Good afternoon, everybody. Ugh. I literally just got out of bed like a little bit ago. I'll be honest, I'm not feeling too hot, but I didn't want to miss the stream. Ugh. I was thinking about just, either moving it to tomorrow or just skipping this weekend altogether, but we're here. We're going to power through it. See how it goes. How's everybody doing today so far? What's up, A118? Ossiphus, what's up? Omni time, buckle in. Let's hope so. Zaza! That cat looks really tired. What's up, Juan? Still a little delayed on the chats here. There we go. Got Kevin in the house. Mandy, how are you doing? I could be doing better, I'll be honest. Little I don't know if I'm under the weather or if I just had a bad night. I don't know. I just did not want to get out of bed. Like, it's 4 p.m. where I'm at right now, and I only woke up like at 3:30. And I don't know, man. I just really wanted to go back to bed, but we're moving on, man. Moving on. I was just like, I need to get out of bed regardless, so I made myself get up. And I didn't want to leave you guys hanging this weekend. Hope you get better, bro. Well, thank you, Juan. I don't really know what it is, man. I'm a little stuffy, but I don't know if that's allergies or something else. And I just felt exhausted. Like, I don't feel like nauseous. I don't have like a headache or anything like that. Reflux is a little fluxy right now, but that's kind of par for the course anyway. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything to get better or if it's just I'm just having a bad morning. What's up, Stixie? What's up, Paula? Hey, found you through Johnny Odell's Marvel compilations and stayed for the Stranger Things reactions. Well, I appreciate that. I hope you stay for the Marvel reactions as well. Because we do so many of those. But yeah, man, Stranger Things has been a wild ride. You know, I at this point, I'm kind of like wondering, like, why did I put it off for so long? But then again, I'm like, I'm kind of glad I put it off for so long because I could do it here on the channel. And a lot of people have been really enjoying, like, coming through and re-experiencing this for the first time again with me and on the channel, man. It's been a blast. You know, it was like one of those shows that like everybody was always talking about. I felt like it was being talked about all the time, and it just kind of turned me off from watching it while it was in the zeitgeist. You know, and I've mentioned this before. It was kind of the same situation for me with The Walking Dead, with Breaking Bad, with Game of Thrones. It was what everybody was talking about, and the more people talked about it, the less I wanted to watch it because I was just always hearing about it. And then with each one of those shows, I eventually checked it out on my own time, and it came around, and I'm really digging it. Gin, pineapple gin tonight. See, like, when you talk about all these gins, these peak gins, pineapple gins, are you mixing stuff together, or do you like just get it straight that way? Because when I went to the store again, looking to pick up some of the things you've mentioned, like it's literally just straight gin, and that's pretty much it. What's up, Aditya? How are you doing, man? What's up, Rodrigo? Not too much. Literally just started my day. Sony can't release a movie without messing it up. First spoiling Morbius before it released to the public. Now they delay Spider-Man across the... I was about to say across the Snyderverse. That would be an interesting fucking movie. Spider-Man across the Snyderverse. Fucking Miles Morales shows up in the nightmare timeline and it's like, what is going on? Across the Spider-Verse, Part 1 to June 2nd, 2023. Yeah, man, I don't mind a movie being delayed if they need to delay it, but I'm fine with that. It just depends on why the delay. Is it because maybe they don't feel confident in when they're releasing it? Do they feel like changing something? Is it just not going to be ready in time yet? That's all fine if it's not going to be ready in time. But the way that they handled Morbius is just a joke. Came here right after watching your Northman review. Can't wait to watch that movie again. It was wild, dude. I definitely feel like I need to give it a second rewatch after, the first one, because there's a lot to take in, and there's a lot more I think you can glean on it after a second viewing. And I know I mentioned this in my review. It's just like, it's not going to be a movie for everybody. I feel like the marketing is setting up a different expectation of what this movie is. But if you're familiar with the previous movies that Robert Eggers has made, you have a little bit more of an idea of what to expect going into it, because it's very much in line with his other films. It's a little genre bending. It's a little bit of the movie that you do see in the trailers. Obviously, it does have that action revenge story in it, but it's just like there's a lot of different layers to it, especially all the artistic visual elements and the way that he unfolds the story in this like mythical, spiritual way is really interesting. But I feel like it's going to jar a lot of people based on that marketing. But I really liked it. Going to see Sonic 2 in a few minutes. Is it good? I mean, it depends on what you're grading it on. As a Sonic fan, I adored it. And as I mentioned in my review, there's only like 2 scenes that bothered me. One in particular that I think detracts from the film a little bit. It does get some chuckles out of me, don't get me wrong, but overall it doesn't really move the story forward all that much. But I really liked it, man. As a Sonic guy, as a kid at heart, I adored the film. Is it cringy at times? Hell yeah. It's made for kids of today. It's going to be a little cringy. But I liked it, man. I liked it a lot. I liked it more than the first one. But I feel like you'll like it only as much as how, I think it'll depend on how strong your connection is to the Sonic lore and Sonic itself, maybe, but I liked it a lot. I really want to go watch it again, and I haven't had the time yet, but I've been just scratching and itching to go see it again. Better late than never. That is true, as they say. What's up, Shay? Thanks for coming to entertain me while I cook. What are you making, man? What you cooking? Do you think we'll get the Egyptian gods in Love of Thunder? Love and Thunder. Love of Thunder. Maybe. If they survive Moon Knight. We don't know what's going to happen in Moon Knight just yet, but it's possible. But let's just say if they do show up in Love and Thunder, there's a strong chance they're going to get murdered. So I feel like for Moon Knight to continue to work in its capacity and the way that it is, assuming, there's no season 2 greenlit, we don't have another appearance scheduled yet, so who knows what is in store for that with Marvel's future. Hopefully more than just this season. But I feel like they would need to keep that element in line. So I feel like we would definitely want to keep the Egyptian gods well away from gore, just for safety's measures. Loving your Stranger Things reactions, but I need to catch up on the watch-alongs on Patreon. Been crazy busy. Take your time, Mandy. It's no rush at all. But I'm glad everybody's been enjoying them, man. I'm really glad. I'm surprised they're doing as well they are. What's up, Toymaker's Cat? Hela versus Carnage. I'd have to probably say Hela. Ozark is another pretty awesome Netflix show. If you liked Breaking Bad, then you'll definitely like Ozark. Whenever that show was announced, I was like, man, this sounds very Breaking Bad-like. I've just never watched it. It's got Jason Bateman in it, and I love him as an actor. It's got a few other people that I do quite enjoy. But yeah, I just haven't taken the time. Eventually, I'll probably get around to that one. What's up, Stixie? I liked Morbius. All power to you, man. I don't think it was a terrible movie. I don't think it was a good movie. I just think it was a mess. It was a mess in my opinion. I laughed at the movie more than I laughed with it, and I was not invested in any of the drama whatsoever. Performances were fine. Had nothing. A lot of people were trying to drop the blame on Jared Leto, and that's not fair. I don't think he had anything to do with why that movie is not resonating with anybody. Maybe his reputation drug it down a little bit, and people were like, oh, it's Jared Leto, and maybe not enough people went based on that, but I think that's not fair, because I think he did a pretty good job. Now, his performance didn't warrant the assholery that he put all of the cast and crew through, but it was fine. It's just, it was a meh movie that then gave us 2 post-credit scenes that are wildly dumb as fuck. Snyder-Man, restoring the Snyder-Man, Snyderverse. I tried. That was a thing. Some interesting Big Finish news today, which I wasn't expecting. They are doing 2 Fugitive Doctor Joe Martin releases and 2 Sacha Dhawan Master box sets. Ooh, that's interesting. So that's interesting. We're getting more Joe Martin in Big Finish before we get any more Joe Martin on the actual show. That's interesting. I'm curious what they're going to do with that, and I'm curious what that means for the Fugitive Doctor's future in the actual show itself, considering, you know, the change of hands. Egypt banned Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness because American Chavez is lesbian. What do you think of this? I think it's I think it's dumb. I personally just think that all of that is a ridiculous reason to ban a movie, but I get some countries are just behind in their ideals and still carry along a lot of these dated concepts to their core. I know that. I'm not surprised by it by any stretch of the imagination. I believe Saudi Arabia also did the very same thing. And it's just sad to me. But all I hope is, well, with this movie, I don't even know how they could edit around that either to take that out. But I'm surprised they honestly aren't to see. I haven't heard that they are, at least, but knowing Disney and how things have been, I'm surprised they haven't made another version of the film where it plays everywhere else. But I think it's silly, and I think it's immature, and I think it's dumb for any country that does that. But it is what it is, I guess. It's unfortunate. They mess up Spider-Man. They are truly lost. Still better than the DCEU, though. I don't think Sony's got a better universe than the DCEU. Sony's universe is barely a universe. DCEU at least has some continuity and some really good movies. So I wouldn't put the Sonyverse over the DCEU by any stretch of the imagination. So far my list goes, The Batman, The Northman, Sonic 2 for the Anim Project, and then Dog. I haven't seen Dog. Wait, Dog? Dog or The Power of Dog? What's Dog? The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Everything Bagel part was too stupid for me. I thought it was right in line with everything else in the movie up to that point. I loved it. I don't know what I'd put my movie rankings in for the year so far. I'd have to think about it. Gosh, what have I seen? Movie review. I don't remember. I just type in movie review on my channel and then see what all came up. So we got Scream, Uncharted, Texas Chainsaw, The Batman, Adam Project, Turning Red, Morbius, Sonic 2, Ambulance, X, Fantastic Beasts, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Unbearable Weight, Northman. So my favorite movie that I've seen so far this year is definitely The Batman. Second is going to be, and that's mostly just because I have a bias towards Batman. Number 2 is going to be Everything Everywhere All at Once. Number 3, Sonic 2. Number 4, Turning Red. Number 5, probably that's a tough one. Number 5 is probably either, man, it's tough. It's between Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent and The Adam Project. Probably Unbearable Weight. Unbearable Weight, then probably Adam Project. Ambulance, I really enjoyed. X was interesting. No, Northman, then X. Actually, scratch that back. Rewind that a little bit. The Northman, Unbearable Weight. Ambulance, X. Jesus, this is rough. I need to write this down. I'm losing track of myself like as I'm talking. Let's see. I'm not going to get hung up on that, but I might work on it here on the side for a minute. But that's a rough idea where we're at. I'll give you the that much at least. Now, they come with those flavors. There's so much choice over here in the UK. I have so many different ones. Mango, blood orange, rhubarb, ginger, passion fruit, raspberry, strawberry, and lime, and more. Oh, that's... Man, why can't I find this stuff? I might just need to go somewhere else and just take a look. Gilgamesh versus 2 out of the 10 rings. Gilgamesh. The Guardians. Thor. Korg in one movie. Count me in. I know, right? I can't wait to see that dynamic play out. I'm making Buddia tacos. Ooh, that sounds yummy. What's up, Resolute? What's up, Noah? Wait, did I watch Adam Project yet? If I haven't, please watch it on the channel. It's so good. I fucking love Ryan Reynolds. I did a review on it. I have a review up on the channel. If you're a Patreon or YouTube member, you I have a full-length watch-along for it on there. Best why I can describe Ozark as Breaking Bad, but the family is in on it. And one of the big bands of Season 1 is the guy who plays Deathstroke in Titans. Cool. Yeah, I knew the family was in on it because it wasn't like this big old secret. Just I got that much, at least from the trailers, whenever I remember Season 1 was coming out. And I remember seeing the first trailer for it, and I was like, man, this looks pretty interesting. I just never got around to watching it. Question for everyone. Do you refill your soda cup before leaving the movie theater? No. I actually don't. I usually just finish it off. I very rarely ever utilize my refill most of the time. And I think the biggest reason is because the drinks, the cups themselves are too big to fit in my cup holder in my car. So I usually was like, I don't want the cold shit dampening up my legs while I'm driving home. So I just kind of live with it, I guess. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings versus DCEU, Aquaman and Wonder Woman. Aquaman and Wonder Woman, easy. Sad that Across the Snyder... God damn it, why do I keep saying that? Across the Spider-Verse got delayed. As long as it's for a good reason, like they need more time to fill it out, and it's not a dumb reason, like we need to make changes based on what just happened at Morbius, because the studio can be really freaking stupid. We'll see. 60 refills the cup. Darkseid with 2 mother boxes versus... Well, the mother boxes don't really up anybody's power. But Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet and the 10 rings from the comics. Well, I mean, that's kind of a moot point, because the Infinity Gauntlet and the 10 rings from the comics essentially do the exact same thing. And Honestly, I would still probably go with Dark Side. Love your review of The Northman. Watched the movie today. Loved it so much. Excellent review as usual. Keep it up. Awesome. Thank you. I'm glad that you watched it. I'm glad you enjoyed the movie. See so many throw their cups away. I'm paying $7 for a soda. I'm refilling that big. That's a fair point. That is a fair point. Paula C. I'm a moderator for 2 or 3 channels, so let me know if you ever want to add a moderator to remove spoilers or for some older shows that you watch. I've already seen many on Stranger Things. Thankfully I've avoided some. I've seen a few that kind of are more alluding to certain things that might happen, but it doesn't really give me any details, and I'm just like, But yeah, I haven't seen anything that's been like, ooh, here's the thing. It's been mostly just opinions and stuff, thankfully, anytime I've skimmed through it. But I don't look at every comment, thankfully, so I'll consider it. I'll consider it, Paula. Dog with Channing Tatum. Oh, okay, that one. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I don't watch a lot of those pet bonding movies because I feel like 90% of them are all kind of the same. Because there was one with Grant Gustin that came out on Netflix as well that I haven't watched. Is it that American Chavez is lesbian, or is it that there is a kiss scene or other imagery? I mean, I have no idea. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't speak as for what it is. I would love who would win between Daredevil, Shang-Chi, or the Batman without preparation, just a spontaneous fight. In just a spontaneous fight. Honestly, against those two, maybe still Batman. Because their repertoire is mostly still just martial arts, but I don't know. It'd be tough. Daredevil would put up a better chance, I think, but I don't know. It's a tough one. Yeah, there was a time when Ben Finnish couldn't do new Who stuff for years, so Joe maybe joined Sasha in the Centenary special is crazy. We'll have to see. The DCEU thing was a joke. Still, though, they postponed The Flash for too long, and also Ezra Miller keeps getting arrested, bruh. Like, stop. I wish they just fire Ezra and hired Grant. Me too, but it's too far. It would be ridiculously expensive for them to reshoot the movie in any stretch of the imagination. So we're stuck with Ezra for that film. For anything after that, I think that's going to be where it's the big old question mark. Imagine the box sets will release next year. That'll be fun. I can't read that, so I'll just say hi. Hi back. Welcome. Like I said last week, I started Walking Dead, and I'm already on season 4, episode 10. Loved it so far, but I feel like the first half of season 4 was a bit drawn out. How do I feel about season 4A? Oh, what was season 4? I don't remember exactly which seasons are which season. Most of the time, except for 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I can feel that. It does take a little bit of time to kind of ramp back up to things. But I didn't dislike it at all. I had to remind myself what was going on during that time. The funny thing about countries banning Marvel movies is that fans from those countries are going to find a way to watch them anyway. As they always do. Like I said last week. Wait, did I just... Yeah, you just reposted it. Booked your tickets for Multiverse of Madness yet? No, I have not. Because, I mean, where I live, I don't really have to struggle to get tickets. So I'm not worried about getting my tickets early or anything of the sort. I'm ready to see Meek in that secretary outfit. I don't know. He kind of gave me some like Victorian butler vibes. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how that all plays out, man. And let me say, Tessa Thompson in that suit, looking good. Fave Batman movie ever. If we're talking live action only, right now it's the Batman. If we're including everything, it's a little tougher. I think it's I think it's still the Batman, but it's a close one between that and Mask of the Phantasm. 13 days until Multiverse of Madness. Cannot wait. Me too. Okay, how is it that people are still trying to make excuses for why Grant shouldn't be Flash in a movie? Grant has said many times that if the show ends, he will play Flash. Even if the show ends, he will play Flash. So, hi, how are you? I don't know, man. People are just thinking about the logistics of it, about the corporate side of it. Other than that, I don't really know. I've heard one argument as to why, and I didn't agree with it. Past there, I haven't seen any other viable reasons why Grant couldn't become the film Flash. Will Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I almost did it again, get delayed again? It's already been delayed twice. It was supposed to release April this year, then delayed to October. Who knows? Who knows? Do you think they will cancel The Flash if, God forbid, he hurts someone worse than half-inch cut? I think worst case scenario, it might just drop on HBO Max, but I don't think there's going to be a scenario where they just scrap the project. They've already sunk way too much into it. They need to get something out of it. Part 1 is 2023, Part 2, 2024. By that I mean other shows, he will find other roles, but like Amel, if he ever got a chance, he'd play the character again. No, I get you. Meek is female. I didn't know this until today. Well, that's new information to me as well. Talking of butlers, did I ever see Black Butler? I have not. I know of it. I can recognize when I see it, but I have not actually seen it. Grant Gustin's not a movie star. I mean, nobody's a movie star until they are. That's no excuse for them not to do it. I wouldn't consider Ezra Miller a movie star, even though they cast him. I mean, he had been in some films, but he was never a lead. I don't know if Meek is male or female. Meek is wearing a feminine outfit in Thor: Love and Thunder. Well, I mean, that doesn't mean too much. I mean, Tessa's wearing what is traditionally a dude's suit, but it is what it is, man. She looks good in it. Meek looks like straight up Victorian butler, though. Like, I felt, if I remember right, he had like the frilly floof in the front, too. So I thought that was kind of funny. And there I go. Oh, wait. Meek is not a female. My bad. Well, good job for confusing everybody. Tessa Thompson is the very close second hottest lady in the MCU, first being Michelle Pfeiffer. I'm old. Loved her since the 80s. She looks good in anything. Well, Michelle Pfeiffer does look good. Regardless of age. Man, she's still rocking it. Just curious, what part of the world are you in? I'm from Georgia, home of Dragon Con. I've always wanted to go to Dragon Con, man. I've just never been able to make the trip. I'm from West Virginia. I'm a little north. Little north. Which do I like better? The Batman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, or the Flash TV show? I like Zack Snyder's Justice League more than I like the Batman. And the Flash TV show, if we're talking the first 3-4 seasons, I would have said the Flash TV show. At this point, it's Zack Snyder's Justice League is probably my favorite out of those three options at this moment. And I'm waiting for chat to refresh. Yeah, we don't have a huge turnout today, so I'm like actually keeping up with the chat to the point where I gotta wait on it to load. That's new. Me and my partner finally got around to watching Spider-Man No Way Home. Really enjoyed it, but it was difficult to stay away from spoilers. Yeah, I am not surprised about the difficulty it took to kind of stay away from all that. I'm not sure how much of it already got spoiled for you, but yeah, if you were magically able to go into it really blind, I think it would be phenomenal. Like, it just like mind-blowing seeing all the things that kind of came out of it. But even knowing a lot of the stuff in there, it's still a really good movie. I still really enjoy it a lot. I've already muted keywords for Multiverse of Madness. I haven't really bothered with it just yet. The only thing I've got muted on my timeline right now is Stranger Things stuff. Superman Lois is returning this week. I'm very excited because it's all going to be Bizarro World. So totes, AU, and Gothiness. Yeah, that's the one thing, like, when we saw, like, everybody's alt selves in the promo, I was like, why is the Bizarro version of everybody in this universe just fucking goth? I thought that was a little strange. It is what it is, man. Casting Grant would cause so many problems. It's a dumb decision. They've spent 150 plus hours and maybe $250 million on this movie already. I don't think anybody's talking about replacing Ezra in this film as with Grant, because that's logistically impossible. It's not logistically impossible. They could do it. It would just result in way more of a cost and loss for WB for this film, or a really, really shitty looking movie in the end. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're talking about post the Flash movie. At least that's what I feel like most conversations are talking about, is replacing him after the movie comes out. There's no way we can replace him in the movie at this point. Or that no way that WB would replace him in the movie at this point. What if Insomniac made a Doctor Strange game and it looked like the movies he was in, and that had all the spells? Oh, I can imagine you go to different dimensions. I don't know if Insomniac would be the best developer to handle something like Doctor Strange, because that would break their whole kind of formula up to this point. It would be extremely, extremely difficult for them to pull that out. So, it would be cool though. I'm just not sure how that would factor in. Heck yeah, I was in West Virginia yesterday driving from GA to PA. Don't know how you handle driving around those mountains. Very carefully. Well, sometimes. It's not too bad as long as it's not iced and there's no just deer hopping out of the road into nowhere and just ruining you. Who's your least favorite live action Batman villain so far? I'm going to exclude the Adam West stuff because I feel like they are not comparable to any of the other Batman films that we've had in the past. So I'll kind of keep them out of it. But probably Ra's al Ghul. He just was the least interesting. I love Liam Neeson. I love the relationship he had with Batman, but him as the final villain in that movie, I lied. I'll take that back. Talia al Ghul from Dark Knight Rises. That was trash. Oh, Psy Girl, thank you so much for that super sticker. $10 super sticker. It has not popped up over here just yet, but thank you so much for that. He's my least favorite canon relationship. In what? Just let me know in what, and I'll let you know. Do you think Zeus in Love and Thunder looks a bit goofy? I mean, compared with it in Snyder's Justice League. I mean, it looks like Zeus in the Marvel universe. Like, it doesn't look goofy at all. It looks like it fits in. It looks no more goofy than anything else that's in the MCU. So I think it's fine. Now, Zeus in the MCU, or I'm sorry, Zeus in the Snyder Cut is definitely like Greek perfection, ripped 300 Zeus. So just kind of depends on where you're leaning with it, but I don't think it's makes one better than the other. I don't watch Netflix often, but there's a new coming of age series that's coming out the other day called Heartstopper. I'm going to finish the last 5 episodes now. I've heard like one person I follow on Twitter talk about that show, or that they're watching that show, but I don't know anything about it and I haven't heard anything about it. So let me know how you feel about it after you've checked it out. Budget for Stranger Things 4 reportedly $30 million an episode. Holy shit, why? How? Game of Thrones in the final season was only $20 million an episode. I don't see how Stranger Things would be popping more than that, but I guess we'll find out. What's up, Shams? Doing good. Had a little bit of a rough start to the morning, but I'm starting to feel a little bit better now that I'm kind of forcing myself through the day. But what about yourself? You know, with how No Way Home left some venom in the MCU, it can make sense with the little blob of goo latched onto Gore, and it allows him to conjure his god-killing sword, since all the all black is just symbiotes. Yeah, I was thinking about that as well as a possibility, but I don't know if it'll go that direction or not. It'd be cool though, but I have a feeling that they're not going to link Gore to the symbiotes at all. Last week, sorry, I went on a rant about Superman being a TV character. Sorry, but whenever WB announces or thinks of a Superman movie, they usually destroy the TV series cast crew. Smallville can confirm this. It is what it is, man. I'm up for fun, goofy superhero movies compared to overly serious ones. As long as it's a good movie, I don't really give a shit. But I do love fun and goofy, as long as it's fun and goofy intentionally and not fun and goofy like Bloodshot for being a terrible fucking movie. So like 2 seconds of Zeus. True. About to go. But when you have time, check out The Awesomes. Have a good week, and I'll see you next Saturday. Also 13 days until Multiverse of Madness. Later, Omni. Later, 60. Thanks for stopping in, bud. What's up, Joseph? How you doing? Love Stranger Things. It's my favorite show. I'm really enjoying it. Really, really enjoying it. And maybe I'm curious to see where it ranks in the end after I've finished it. You know, well, after it's all out. Because I try to refrain from putting an unfinished series in my top 10. Which is interesting, at least to me. I think I should comment on it. It's like, I still have Game of Thrones in my top 10. Even though I have so many problems with Season 8. That it's ridiculous. But the reason it's still up there is there's been so few shows that for those first six and a half seasons, it was so important and part of our ritual within my friend group, within the social media sphere, within the theory crafting. It was like there are so many great experiences going all the way through it that even though that season 8 ruined my enjoyment of any subsequent rewatches, I still have all these fantastic memories of the journey up to that point. So I kind of keep it still on there. But if anything is going to get kicked off my list eventually, it's probably going to end up being Game of Thrones, sadly. But Stranger Things, right now, pretty strong chance of making it onto the list. So canon, relationships, and television and movies. Doesn't matter if it's Stranger Things, Friends, Walking Dead, what have you, just least favorite ship. That's such a wide net. Honestly, the very first one that came to mind was Allegra and Chester in The Flash right now. Um, Aside from that, I think that's honestly the only one I can think of at the moment. We'll say Gabriel and Rosita still feels unnatural to me completely in The Walking Dead. Um, the Joey and Rachel thing in Friends, nah, nope, was not a fan of that. Um, that whole debacle from their trip to Hawaii. Wasn't Hawaii? Where was it? I don't remember. Barbados? I can't remember where they went. Um, those are immediately the ones that kind of leap out. Um, yeah, I'll stick with those right now. I'm having a hard time figuring out something else at the moment. Maybe music rights. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know what that was in reference to, if anything. I can't remember. I'm sorry, Summer. I'm not sure what this question would have been brought up by. Will do. Have a great night. Take it easy, Toy Maker. You're probably already gone at this point. Have I ever seen Tank Girl? I've never seen it all the way through, but I've seen an in-depth review of the movie that went through it from beginning to end. But I've never actually sat down and watched the whole movie. Nor have I read the graphic novel. I'm ready for season 4, but I will watch your reactions to season 3. I hope you enjoy them, man. I hope you enjoy them. I can't wait to get through season 3 so I can finally be caught up, and we can dive into whatchamacallit. Stranger Things season 4. Why did my brain turn off for that? What's up, Kyle? Good afternoon, Omni. In May, it will be the 20th anniversary of Spider-Man and Attack of the Clones. Do you remember where you were when you saw these films? Yeah, in the theater. Yeah, I was in the theater. I saw Spider-Man in the theater, and I saw Attack of Clones in the theater. I specifically remember my episode 1 viewing. So I saw that with my stepsisters who were in from Germany. But Spider-Man specifically, I know I saw it in the theater, but I can't remember which theater I was at. Attack of the Clones, I remember that one. But yeah, man, definitely remember where I was on those. I remember seeing the trailers for these movies originally, especially the Spider-Man trailer with the web catching the helicopter. Definitely remember all that jazz. My granddaughter Amelia is sat listening to you with me, and she wanted to say hi. Well, hi, Amelia. And she wanted to tell you she loves Star Wars and her favorite character is Darth Vader. Well, we are riding the same line there. If we're talking just like the Star Wars films themselves, Vader / Anakin is my favorite character in all of the theatrical Star Wars stuff. Animated as well. But if like we're including like the games and the non-canon stuff, Darth Revan is still one of my tops, my faves. Just mostly because I have a bias, and he's kind of like what Vader could have been had Palpatine not interrupted his destiny. But yeah, man, I'm right there with you. I was not born. Ship Wars! Ship Wars! You can only watch one. The Boys Season 3 or Stranger Things Season 4. If I had to pick between the two, I would probably watch The Boys Season 3. I've been invested in that from the beginning. I've been invested from that from the get-go, and I've been watching it as it's been coming out. But Stranger Things, I mean, I really enjoy it. But between those two, if I had to pick one or the other, I would be probably watching The Boys. Have I seen the fourth and fifth Kenshin movies yet? Not yet. Not yet. I think the entire saga has entirely been extremely well crafted and emotional on many levels. I haven't finished them yet. I'm really behind on all of that jazz, so I will have to watch them eventually. I've got all the other ones, but I haven't watched those last two yet. I love the Kenshin saga, whether it be the live action stuff, the anime, the OVAs, the manga. But the thing about it is that like trying to like kind of like waters down my enjoyment of it is the all the shit that the author, the creator, got wrapped up in. Not wrapped up in, caught doing more than anything, but it is what it is. It's one of those. It's hard to find something that's just untainted in some way these days. But the Kenshin stuff, the story of Kenshin, the story of the films, and the way that they actually put together these films, the live action one specifically, is phenomenal. Will George R.R. Martin ever finish the books? I feel like I will have kids by the time he does. Yeah, man. And he keeps taking on side projects, man, and he keeps working on all other stuff. It's just, and I don't understand. He's getting frustrated with being asked when he's going to finish the books, and I'm just like, how can you not expect us to be frustrated with you just dodging it at every turn? Dude, finish the fucking book. He's still got one more to do after that one. And that'll what? He'll be dead. He'll be dead before he's done. Game of Thrones is probably one of the most important series in the last decade. I wish D&D had traded it off to committed showrunners when they thought they were getting Star Wars. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I'm good, although had a rough day. I'm just getting prepared to go on a region tour with some friends. Also some foreigner teachers, and really excited. Well, I'm excited for you. Hope you have a fun trip. Hope your tour goes well. And I hope you feel better. I hope you're having a better day. I think it's like, what, towards the end of your day at this point. But I hope you have a stronger day tomorrow. I hope you enjoy your weekend. And hope you have a good trip. And great performances. Fair. Joey Rachel thing kills me. Yeah. I'm not a fan of Newt and Bunty being shipped together in Fantastic Beasts. Who's Bunty? Oh, his assistant. I'm not gonna lie. I've always been kind of a fan of the like the the stalker lover in a way, but I can feel that. It doesn't bother me at all, especially in this last one. I was like, man, Tina's not around. She's all here for you, all in at this moment. But then again, I'm not super sold on Tina either, but it is what it is, man. Mine has to be Donna and Hyde in that 70s show, even though they never really got to get... Oh, yeah. That was bothersome, man. It didn't develop into anything, but they definitely went that direction for a little bit, and it definitely made me uncomfortable. Music rights might be why the episodes of Stranger Things cost so much. That is a good point. Okay, that could make sense. Because you didn't have to worry about licensing expensive ass referential songs in Game of Thrones, and those can really, depending on how popular they are, the more those things are going to cost. Then they can be in the millions for those music rights just to play one song. Is this the last season of Stranger Things? Excited for Duffer Brothers' next Project Talisman. No, season 4 is the second to last. Season 5 is the confirmed final season of Stranger Things. So Um, if I remember right. Correct me if I'm wrong, everybody. I'm pretty sure there's a season 5, and that's the final season of Stranger Things. As far as what their next project is, I haven't heard anything about it. As always, just wanted to come in for 5 minutes and say hi, have a good day on my timeline, have a good night, and goodbye. Take it easy, Shams. Do you think the surprise cameo for Kenobi might be? Who do I think the surprise cameo for Kenobi might be? I don't know. I kind of expect to see Rex. Maybe Ahsoka. Maybe Boba. Well, Boba would be a little young at this point, but they could have Daniel Logan come in and be a little bit of a younger version. But I feel like it's probably going to be... My money would be on Ahsoka or Rex. Was probably be what I would say. Part 1. Scientists have found that people who don't get the required 8 hours of sleep per night die sooner. Part 2. Adults older than 45 who sleep less than 6 hours per night are 200% more likely to have a heart attack or a stroke. Part 3. At any age, evidence suggests that if you sleep less than 6 hours per night for a period of 14 years, then you risk heart disease increases by a whopping 500%. Take care of, oh God. So, cautionary tale, get more sleep. I've been trying. I've been doing better. I haven't been doing great, but I've been doing better. Where were we? Speaking of music rights, James Gunn said there was one song that he couldn't get for Guardians 3. Ooh, I wonder what it was. I think Jar Jar will be in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, that would be cool. I would actually be okay with seeing that. But I'm sure a lot of people will roll their eyes and just be buttholes, but still. I might make a Netflix film at home or show me and my cousin and his friends gonna do basketball things. Do it. Have at it. Tom Welling has since Smallville ended. After WB started making Superman films, they made the lives of the cast, writers, and crew hell. The reason he became a producer to make sure it gets a good end. Well, I would argue the end was not the best. But, that WB back then is completely different WB than what we have now. And I'm not surprised about what happened there. Watto in Kenobi is my dream. That would be cool. I'd be down with that as well. Natalie Holt is doing the score of Kenobi. She did the first season of Loki. Her score was phenomenal for Loki. So I am all for that. What are some of the things that are on my bucket list? I've mentioned this a few times. I want to go to Japan eventually. I want to go to Ireland one day. Those are definitely on there. I'd love to meet like some celebrities before they pass. Some of my favorite ones before they get too old to go out and meet anybody. The most famous person I've met in person was Stephen Bloom and the car wash guy from Breaking Bad. And I just ran into randomly on a plane. But Stephen Bloom came to the anime convention that's local here. So aside from that, there's a whole list of people I'd love to meet, and it's mostly that. I'd love to visit LA one day, New York. See a Broadway play. Yeah. And then some other stuff that I probably shouldn't say on stream. Anyway. There was one part in The Northman that felt like an Elden Ring fight in the crypts. Yes, I feel you there. I definitely know what the scene you're talking about, and yes. I love the new episode of Halo. We finally got some great action. Master Chief had his helmet on for more than 10 seconds. We got grunts, jackals, and brutes. Also, the Quan side plot was minor. Yes, but I think we'll go right back to... I think we're going to get like a massive Quan episode next week. But we'll see. What's up, Sheena? How are you doing? Thanks for stopping in, stranger. Z is calling me out on my bad habits. Yes, yes they are. What's my favorite MCU show so far? So far, Moon Knight's not over, so I'm not going to jump the gun and say it's Moon Knight, but so far it's WandaVision. WandaVision is still my favorite at the end of the day. Followed, I think, by Hawkeye. Get fucking wrecked. Hunt, shut up. Okay, I don't know why they always have to play 80s songs in Stranger Things. They can play 80s songs very sparingly while doing good character-driven story. I mean, they are doing good character-driven story, and it's the 80s, so 80s music would be playing. So I don't get the argument there. I don't think just playing 80s songs detracts from their character-driven story, because they have a really good character-driven story going on. The songs aren't detracting from that at all. Season 4 was originally going to be the finale, but it was since changed to Season 5 of Stranger Things. Good to know. I'm glad that Doctor Strange isn't premiering 3 weeks ahead of its release. Eternals did it, and it got spoiled. Thankfully, even though Eternals did, I missed out on any of the spoils for that. What do you think of Zemo's redemption in Falcon and the Winter Soldier? A lot of folks hated his portrayal in Civil War, but I loved him in the series. I loved him in both, to be honest. I thought he was great, and I thought his redemption was earned. I thought it worked really well. Who's my favorite character in Stranger Things? It's Hopper and Eleven, but Steve is so funny. Right now, Hopper's still number one. Still my favorite character. And Steve is probably my second favorite character. Steve or Dustin is probably my second favorite character. Love Zemo in Civil War. I was about to say, love Zemo in Zemo War. Strange danger. So dangerous. People gotta watch out, Sheena. You're deadly. Do you think the Halo series isn't focused on an Arbiter or alien character because of cost? I've been honestly thinking about that. I was like, why aren't we focusing on Arbiter at all? Why isn't Arbiter our Covenant in? Why isn't Arbiter our Covenant character? I mean, the whole crux of his character and his journey is because of his failure to stop Chief on the Halo ring. But does that mean that we're going to wait to introduce Arbiter until they get to the Halo ring? I mean, that can work, but I feel like I give no shits about this Blessed One, McKee or whatever they call her. I don't care. I don't care about her. I don't care about Quan. I mildly care about Soren. Chief's team, I actually care about. Miranda, Keys, like everything that has to do with that section of the story I care about. Well, I just hope you still like season 3 of Stranger Things. It's my favorite season because there are in the summer of 85, and they have to deal with the Russians. I'm liking it so far, man. I wouldn't mind less licensed music for it for editing purposes, but it fits well in the show. Exactly. I've been sleeping 5 to 6 hours per day since I was 15 or 16. Not insomniac, just my metabolism and biological clock. I'm now 42 and very healthy. I think everybody functions differently and has different needs. It's not one size fits all when it comes to life habits. That is also very true. I will say that my daily habits do not help my daily functions at all. I'll at least admit that much. Just finished my review of the New Rockstars breakdown of Moon Knight 1-4. Love New Rockstars. Eric Voss is adorable. I like Eric a lot, man. I really do. What's the most 80s movie I've ever seen? I'm thinking Lost Boys. I've never seen Lost Boys, so I don't know. I wouldn't speak towards that. The most 80s movie I've ever seen. That's a hard one. I don't really know. I can't really think of one. I'm having trouble thinking of like A very 80s movie. I don't know. I don't know. I'm blanking right now. I apologize. Um, I'm not sure they play a lot of music in Stranger Things that wasn't composed by them at all. Other than 2 songs, most of it's used in transition scenes and for not very long. Exactly. That's why I don't feel like it's a huge problem. Fun fact, the Millennium Falcon toy in the first episode of Stranger Things Season 1 is the actual 1995 toy and not the one from 1978. So it was the re-release, which is I'm pretty sure which is the one I had. I had the 90. I probably have the 95 one, even though I don't know. I don't remember actually having it when I was that old. So I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I couldn't tell just by looking at it, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the 1978 one's going to be stupid expensive to try to get your hands on. If you could be a Stranger Things actor, who would I play as? Give me Steve. Steve or Jonathan. I think I could do either of those pretty well. I could probably do Jonathan better than I could do Steve, though, if we're going to be honest. What's up? Who's my favorite Funko Pop? What's up, Jay Shrey? Probably, I mean, it's still at this point, my Darth Revan one. It's just so beautiful. He's just so pretty. Look at him. Oh, Darth Revan. Whoops. But I've got so many that I like, man. But I think that one's probably my favorite one. It was probably one of the harder ones I have to get. All my Kingdom Hearts ones are probably up there as well. Yeah. Nah, you're a peach. Don't you be disarming. Don't you do it. Watch out. I kid. Between Quan, the Blessed One, and Chief, we're focused on 3 human characters in a science fiction series. If the season 2 explores more of the Covenant. I mean, it would kind of have to. The way the thing's being paced out now, we're not going to get to the Halo ring until it's probably going to be the season finale is arriving, or just it might even be the final shot is actually them getting to the ring. It's I don't know. I get it, but at the same time, it's just they're really dragging it out. I gotta say, I mildly care about the Blessed One more than Quan, that's for sure, especially after this last episode. Quan is just bleh. Oh my god. I agree with you there. Out of the 2, the Blessed One is way more interesting of a character than Quan. Quan is consistently getting on my nerves. She's dumb. She's whiny. She's completely got her priorities ass backwards. And she's endangering literally everybody around her. She's dumb as fuck. And so annoying. And then she has the gall to pull a gun on Soren, who's the only level-headed person in her storyline right now. So dumb. I really was curious to know and wanted to ask you since a long time if you know / like the Saints Seiya animated series. I know it hasn't been really distributed in the US. I'd love to hear your take. I've never heard of it. So I'm sorry I can't talk to it, but yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of the show. I apologize. Hello. Favorite Spielberg film that's not Jaws, Jurassic Park, E.T., or Raiders? Hold up. I'm going to need help with my memory. Steven Spielberg. Come on. Oh my god. How did I miss his filmography? There it is. Oh, well, you did say Raiders. So what if I give you The Last Crusade? Is that a cop-out answer? I won't do that to you. I won't do that to you. Um. Ooh. Either Hook. Like, we just eliminate Indiana Jones altogether. Probably either Hook or Catch Me If You Can. But if I can include yet a non-Raiders Indiana Jones film, it's easily going to be The Last Crusade, because I really love The Last Crusade. Your Rockstars apparently has some big news coming tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, really? I have not heard of that, and I'm really curious about it. I'm curious what that might be. Okay, throughout Fantastic Beasts movies, Jake Gibbs is the absolute best character. Should have been him and Newt traveling the world meeting Fantastic Beasts. I agree with that, actually. Just recently watched Lord of the Rings for the first time and was so in love with it. My favorite is still Fellowship, though. I feel like most pick Return of the King. I'm right there with you, actually. Out of the trilogy, I greatly prefer the pacing and the vibe and the feel of the Fellowship of the Ring. I love the entire trilogy, and I've rewatched the extended editions probably like 3 or 4 times in the past year, at least. And I still think Fellowship is the one I enjoy watching the most. No, I'm right there with you, but I do feel a lot of people really love Two Towers, and a lot of people really love Return of the King. But for me, I just really like the kickoff for the story, like starting with the Shire, starting with them taking upon the quest, them banding together, entering the mines, and then going their separate ways. I just really like the flow of the first film. Hey Omni, sorry I'm late. Sorry I wasn't here last week. Oh, no problem, Jordan. No need to apologize at all for missing a stream. Ever. My favorite Spielberg film is either Catch Me If You Can or Saving Private Ryan. I've actually never seen Saving Private Ryan. The first time I actually saw Catch Me If You Can was in my business class in high school. We had a business ed class or whatever, and they played that as like a thing for like fraud or whatever, and I really enjoyed it. What's up, Chase? Finally made it to one of these. Finally have the weekend off from work. Well, I'm glad you can make it, Chase. It's nice to have you here, man. Hope you're enjoying your weekend off. Just relax, kick back, and let's have a chat. We'll take The Last Crusade. Awesome. Thor versus Iron Man. I think Thor with Stormbreaker might have a really good chance of taking out Iron Man. I'll say. Saving Private Ryan was the first rated R movie I had watched. My first rated R film was, I think, either Predator or the original Halloween. Am I excited for the new Avatar series on Netflix, or do you think that it will be trash? Sorry, excuse for a movie. Well, it's not a movie, it's a show, so... but the casting looks good, but the fact that they ran off the creators yet again, and it just, I don't know. I'm very apprehensive about what they're going to do with it, because Netflix does not have a great track record for adapting things. So, the casting that they've announced so far, I like. It's almost perfect, spot on. But I just don't trust Netflix yet. So we'll just have to wait and see and hope that they don't mess it up. What's up, Ashley? Found your channel when searching for arcane reactions and have been lurking ever since. Figured it was time to say hi. Well, it's good to see you here. I don't think I've seen your name before, so welcome. We do this every Saturday, as long as nothing interrupts it, so welcome. I'm glad you found it. And Arcane was a beautiful series, man. It was such a great show, and I cannot wait for season 2. And I'm glad you enjoyed it enough to stick around. But welcome, join the conversation, throw some questions. Let's chat. Would I rather go to the Upside Down or kill the Demogorgons? I'd rather just traverse the Upside Down than try to fight one of these things, I'll be honest. I don't think my chances of surviving would be all that great, though. Some of the names Leo uses to catch me if you can include Barry Allen. Oh, that's a nice catch. I didn't know that. Another thing that I didn't learn until recently was that this isn't Barry Allen related, but it is DC related, was that Elvis based his entire look on Captain Marvel, or what we now know as Shazam, because they rebranded. I never knew that, and now it just completely clicks. Like the little cape and all that. He was a huge Captain Marvel fan growing up, and that's what inspired him to dress the way he dressed in a lot of his performances. That was a nice little tidbit of information that I didn't really know about. Did I see the new Flash trailer for the Flash show or the Flash movie? I saw the promo for the new Flash thing for the show for when it returns, but as far as like anything for the movie, I haven't seen anything. I would say the trailers seriously leveled up. Okay, based on that, I think you're talking about the show. I did watch the promo, the last promo that came out. It's funny, when I was younger, I lived for Return of the King, but now I catch myself rewatching Fellowship more than any other one. I love it so much. Me too. That's my favorite one to put on. It's just so serene, and I think it's the point in the story where it's not just dire. Things aren't hinging on a certain thing. Like, it's a little more hopeful. It's the start. It kicks off. It's one of the few first entries in a series that I can put on and watch and just relax to. A lot of the time, and I've mentioned this in previous streams, that usually I find that in like a sequel to a series where I feel like I turn my brain off and just like relax through it all through that, because I don't have to worry about pay attentioning and listening to the seriousness of all the setups and whatnot. I feel like the Lord of the Rings trilogy kind of shakes up that formula a little bit in my brain. So like I feel you there. For me, when I was younger, Return of the King, for whatever reason, I had only seen it like once up until I started doing my deep dives into everything like a few years ago. And I laughed through most of Return of the King for whatever dumbass reason. So yeah, I definitely appreciate all of it so much more now than when I was a dumb kid watching these movies for the first time. But Fellowship is still my favorite one to watch at this point. Me and my brothers are reading The Lord of the Rings this year before Rings of Power series. Are you excited for that series? I'm almost done reading The Fellowship of the Ring. I'm struggling to get through a read of the books before it comes out. I decided to start with The Hobbit, and I'm still like maybe a third of the way through it. I've got a lot to get through, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm trying not to get pessimistic about things I've heard and read, and from what I've seen, it looks fine, but I do think it's going to be their own version of Middle Earth, and not really a direct adaptation of that age, which is kind of what I was looking forward to. But I'm still all the same curious to see what they do with it. If they can tell a great story within that universe and do just fine, hell yeah, I'm all there for it. I've never seen Saving Private Ryan either. Join the club. I've heard really good things about it, but I've just never really seen it. GTGIT, it was great talking to you. Oh, gotta go. It was great talking to you. I'll see Stranger Things reactions from Stranger 3. I'm glad you could make it. I'm glad you could hang out for a little bit. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you later, man. I'm so happy someone mentioned the Saint Seiya animated series. The lore is amazing. It's a 5 stars in every Japanime fan book. I think I should give it a shot if you can. It's a true gem. I'll definitely have to look into it, Anne. Thank you. I've not heard about it at all. Where can I watch it? Where can I check it out? Is it Crunchyroll? Is it on Netflix? Tell me where to find it. Personally love Pippin and Mary, some of the most well-done comedic relief characters. I definitely agree with that, for sure. And then Sam, one of the best co-pilots you could ever have. Like the pinnacle of best bro is Samwise Gamgee, man. Miles versus Aang. Aang all day. If I could delete a movie from my memory and watch it for the first time again, what would it be? That's a tough one. Maybe Jurassic Park. Probably I mean, that's my favorite movie of all time, so I would love to kind of like re-experience the wonder again. It would be that or one of the Star Wars films, but I don't know if I could tell you which one I would pick. What's my favorite magical artifact or cursed item? The One Ring, Excalibur, Cloak of Invisibility, etc. Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm leaning towards Excalibur. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Excalibur, actually. What about you? What would you go with? Close Encounters of Jurassic Park are definitely up there for Spielberg. I've never seen Close Encounters, so I can't speak for that one. Am I interested in the Wonder Twins movie? I thought it was a show. Hope it'll be wonderful. I'm not all that excited about the announcement, but I will definitely check it out when it comes out, because I watch anything DC that pops out usually. But as far as it stands, I'm not like foaming at the mouth ready to see it or anything. They cast the new Percy for Percy and Jackson series, hoping it's good. I don't know that it could be worse than the movies. Funny thing is, I kind of enjoyed the first movie. The second one was not that good, though. But yeah, the kid they got is great. I mean, he was in The Adam Project, and I thought he did great, even though I kind of like complained a little bit about him just kind of being Ryan Reynolds. But he did a really good job. I think he could definitely carry it. Would I rather go to Krypton or go to the Speed Force? Probably the Speed Force. When it comes to the trailers for Stranger Things 4, you'd have to do them in a specific order with the teasers or not just watch them. They sort of spoil something important in one of them. I'll be honest, there's probably a strong chance I'm not going to react to them. Just so I can go into it completely blank. Would I prefer to be stranded on Tatooine or Coruscant? Probably Tatooine. I feel like Tatooine is a little bit easier to navigate. More rough and tumble, obviously difficult terrain, but Coruscant is just so busy, so swarmed, so cramped, so like you're just drowning in the populace. I wouldn't even know where to start in Coruscant. So I don't know. For the Flash show. That's answering a question I mentioned earlier. Have you ever realized that at age 30, you've spent a full month of your life celebrating your birthday? Oh my gosh. I never really thought about it that way. That's a good point. So now I'm at over a month at this point. Did you like how the X-Files ended, or was I disappointed? I was a little... It is a little lackluster of an ending, but it was because they were kind of hoping for more to come out of it. And sadly, the creator didn't follow up on any of his setups when he finally was able to do the revival series. I will say that I was okay with how the main show ended, but I am massively disappointed with how they decided to continue it years later once they got those 2 revival seasons. I think those 2 seasons butchered the mythology of the series. There were some great one-off episodes, but as far as continuing the story and the legacy, I think they did a really bad job. Really bad job. To the point Gillian Anderson doesn't even want to do it anymore. So, good job, Chris Carter. You fucked it up. But it doesn't change how much I love the original show. I just wish they would follow it up with the movie like they had originally intended and just closed it out with the invasion. I wonder how they are going to let Bizarro Jonathan fit in. I don't know. I'm really curious about that one as well. Lead animator for the Wolverine game teases that the mocap will be starting soon. Sweet. At least we definitely lets us know there's a long way to go on that game. Thoughts on Jesse L. Martin not returning for season 9 of The Flash? Well, he said he would be back for appearances. He just will not be a. He will not be a. What's the word I'm looking for? Shit. What's the word? He won't have a recurring role, I guess. Regular. He won't be a series regular in season 9, but he will still be on to make appearances, is what I've heard. But, hey, he's starring, he's leading in another show, so I'm glad he's got something coming around. I'm going to miss him, though. Really enjoyed Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, but the third act started to get very, very formulaic. Fair. It did. I feel like that was kind of the point that it was building up to. I think they had been setting up a formulaic resulted ending because they had pretty much foreshadowed everything that happened in the final act. But I feel you. I feel you. Do I have or not the same favorite character in the MCU and in the Marvel comic books? And who are they? Both Spider-Man. Definitely both Spider-Man. For sure. P.S. I discovered your channel because you were one of the first reacting to Star Wars Visions. Been following you since. I really appreciate your combination of objectivity and passion. You're great, mate. Well, thank you, Valmont. I really appreciate that. I really do. Oh, man, Star Wars Visions was a trip. That was a really fun ride to get through. It was hard getting those all out in 1 week, but I really enjoyed all the different perspectives on the Star Wars universe and all that jazz. It was a lot of fun. I have a theory. What if Bizarro John is Sarah's boyfriend in the Bizarro world? That would be crazy. That would be nuts. Do you think Ronnie, we know from The Flash, is really gone? Yes, I do think Ronnie from The Flash is really gone. I think this thing is just using his body. Related to Valmont's comment, curious on your favorite MCU movie / show so far. Favorite movie? I feel like I should distinguish some of these. So my favorite standalone movie, not a team up movie, not team up. We're going to segregate these a little bit. So my favorite non-team up film in the MCU is probably either Doctor Strange or Shang-Chi. My favorite team up ensemble movie is Endgame, easy. And my favorite show so far is WandaVision. I think WandaVision is just a gem, a joy to watch. I really like it. I think it holds up really well. Barry versus Thanos. Well, I mean, Thanos, it depends on if he's got the Infinity Stones. If he does, I mean, Barry theoretically could just get it off his hand before he has the time to snap. So, I guess Barry? It started as an older series. I remember watching the first seasons of Saint Seiya back in the early 2000s. They were fan subs. I also remember seeing some episodes in Spanish. Wait, hold on. Okay. I started to think of something else. Okay. It's been great chatting with you as always, but I gotta go. It's time for bed. Have a good night, Mandy. You may already be gone at this point, but hope you have a great, relaxing evening and have a good rest. If I shuffle a pack of cards, there's a big possibility that you shuffled them in an order that has never been existed before and may not exist again. Probability. I don't want the cloak of invisibility, like the amount of trouble I could get into and out of with that. That is so true. That's true. That is true. You can also do the same thing with the One Ring, technically. Sean Astin rolls, would I pick Sam or Bob to be my best friend, or someone to look after you? I would pick Sam for looking out for me, but both characters to be best friends. Probably Bob, man. I think he encompassed all the great qualities that Sam brings to the table, but he was also just like a nerd at heart, and I could vibe with that. I could vibe with that for sure. Speaking of Wonder Twins, apparently, KJ Appa is Samoan. Who would have thought? Who's KJ Appa? Oh. I never knew this dude's name. I recognize him, but I never actually knew his name. I would not have guessed. What world would I rather live in? The MCU, DC, EU, The Boys, Invincible. Oh my lord, I would rather live in the MCU. Dude. DCU, way too... Actually, there's not a lot going on in the DCU. I'd just rather, let's live there. You have a much stronger chance of living a very peaceful life there. I mean, the dark side's apocalypse, that got stopped, so I'm fine with that. MCU shit's going down all the time. People getting blipped out of existence. The Boys, you have superheroes all over the place murdering people. Same with Invincible. DCU seems to be the safest place. I just wouldn't live in Metropolis, Gotham, or Coast City, or any of those places. Central City, I'd stay away from all of them. Just throw me in Boise, Idaho, I'll live a good life. Have I seen CW's Kung Fu? In my opinion, it's a solid show and it's really fun. I haven't watched it at all. I've seen some of the teasers, obviously, between watching episodes of The Flash and other stuff, but I haven't actually checked it out at all. MCU. Would you prefer to be a producer, director, or an actor? I'd probably prefer to be an actor. I think that'd be fun to give a go. I don't know if I'd be good at all. I don't think I would, but I think it'd be more fun to try. You think in the future Connor has all of the powers? I doubt it, but we'll see. We'll see. Can you make a room tour sometime for my collection? Looks interesting. It's in the cards. I've cleaned up a little bit, but I need to figure out a good way to get about it because my camera's mounted. So like I can't take this camera around and show you guys everything. The way I have things set up. But I'm sure I could figure something out eventually. I just need to figure out the logistics of it. Or the Arrowverse. Yeah, I'll still settle with DCEU. Safer than the Arrowverse. I think they say it was available on Netflix for a couple of years during the late 2021. They removed it because of some rights shenanigans. There are rumors it could return to Netflix in the future. Yeah, room tour will come at some point after stuff is able to be moved. Honestly, would agree with skipping the trailer for Stranger Things. They're great hype fans, but who are waiting, but you're already hyped about it. Yeah, and I'm just like, there's only gonna be 2 weeks between when the new seasons come out and when I'll actually be able to watch it. Give me 1 second, guys. I will be right back. I need to take a quick little break, and I will be returning. Bye-bye. We're back. Sorry about that. All right. The Boys and Invincible would be horrible to live in. 100%. 100% terrible to live in. You think we would get another Spider-Man 2 trailer this year? Oh, for the game. I was like, what? Blanked out for a minute. Apologize for that. Maybe. I still feel like it's probably pretty far off, but we could see one maybe later this year, maybe over the summer. I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not sure how far along the progress is on it. Given a lot of their system and engine has already kind of been built out. Superior Spider-Man versus Venom with Peter. Probably Venom with Peter, I would say. For some reason, I think Sarah's going to find out Jordan has powers this season. I kind of hope so. I also kind of don't with the way she's been acting, but we'll see. Would Doctor Strange 2 be considered a team-up movie? I would say yes. We would have to wait and see. Doctor Strange with the Time Stone versus Sonic. I mean, with the Time Stone, I mean, Doctor Strange probably. Because he can reverse time. I mean, even Sonic with the Chaos Emeralds can use Chaos Control, but that just stops time. He can't rewind it. So they kind of would even out there, and then Strange could have the advantage because he'd be able to rewind stuff. But if you took them both at their base level, I think maybe Sonic would have a decent chance at taking him down. What's your thoughts on Vin Diesel's recent Instagram post? Vin posted about Paul's mom asked Vin to bring Brian back to the screen to finish the story they started in 2001 together. I have not seen that. I will have to go check that out. But that if it's coming from his family, I don't see the problem. His family's been very supportive about seeing this movie series through to the end. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm not opposed to it. I've heard that there's been recent discussions about Saint Seiya's rights. Netflix obviously is in talks, but Amazon Prime, Crunchyroll, Hulu, Funimation also. It's on the TV Asahi website, I think. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to look into it. Thanks for the info, though. I really appreciate it, Ann. There's rarely a more toxic mixture than thinking you know it all and constantly worrying about the perception others have of you. Was that in reference to something? Did I say something that I'm confused? What do you think is the best Marvel series on Disney Plus for me? I think have I answered this question like 3 times today? I don't know if you were in here, Jordan, though. But right now, WandaVision is still my favorite at the end of the day. Discover your channel tonight. I couldn't sleep because I woke up very late this morning. Afternoon, in fact. I am right there with you, actually. I just woke up at 3:30. I don't know what time it is for you, Ann. But yeah, I woke up at like 3:30 p.m. is when I finally forced myself to get out of bed. But I'm glad you found the channel. Welcome. Feel free to join our Discord, follow my socials, join the conversation. I try to keep up with everybody in the Discord as well, even when I'm not on the live stream. So, always happy to have another voice thrown into the mix. And I'm glad you decided to come hang out. It's always fun seeing some new faces around. I kind of wish Grodd wasn't redeemed. He was such a good villain. I agree. I agree with you there. Grodd's a lot more fun as a villain, I think. How do you feel about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse? I said it right this time. Being delayed. I mean, it sucks, but if it's good for a good reason, like they need more time to make it work or to finish it, then that's fine. That's fine with me. It's not going to bother me at all if it's all that. If it's because they have, like, if they're not confident in it, they're requesting changes because of whatever backlash they're going through right now, that's stupid. So it just depends on the reasons. Tommy versus Jason, Power Rangers. I'd probably say Tommy. But that's also because I have a huge Tommy bias. I'd go with Tommy. If they have the access to all the ranges of their Ranger abilities as well, Definitely Tommy in that case. Found family is a huge trope these days, which I think just speaks for our need to gather our own tribes close to us in troubling times. What's your absolute fave trope in stories? Honestly, I think found family is a huge one for me right now. Found family and friendship. You know, pushing forward, huge thing. Like the power of like relying on your love and your friendship to give you strength, finding your power and the connections you've made rather than standing on your own 2 feet by yourself. I find those way more empowering than anything else. I'd probably lean into those, which is probably one of the main reasons why Kingdom Hearts is a huge influence on my life and one of my favorite video game series, if not, well, it is my favorite video game series of all time. That and like Naruto, I think those two like really accentuate those two tropes very strongly. Because, you know, always kind of being a little bit of an outcast, you know, has always felt like an outsider. So like being able to thrive off of connections you are actually able to make and make important connections that stick with you. Totally love it. Would you want Uncharted to have another video game in their franchise or another shot in another movie? I'm happy. I'm fine with the video game series ending where it ended. Drake's story, Nathan's story, has come to a close. I mean, he's not done, but I feel like they left him off in a perfect spot. If they wanted to do another game, I would rather have him like play as his daughter, and then maybe have him as like a supporting character. Maybe him being like the Sully for his daughter. If they did the game route. Otherwise, I'm perfectly okay with them doing another Uncharted movie. I had fun with the one they made. It was a good little setup, and they pretty much set up that they were going to be, if they make another one, going to be diving into the actual first game. So I'm down. I'm down with either, really. But I feel like the video game franchise it's done with Nathan. So I feel like we should move away from Nathan if they stick to it on the game side. If Sarah doesn't find out Jordan has powers and is kept in the dark a little while longer, she's mature when it comes to caretaking, but she's also hella immature when it comes to relationships. That's exactly why I don't want her to find out. 100%. Hope Nora is going to be the whole season since I saw the trailer. I don't think she's going to be the whole season. I think she'll be sprinkled throughout. But we'll see. Since it's Paul's mom asking, and Vin walked Paul's daughter down the aisle 3 weeks before Paul died, he said, "We're going to make 10 of these. I'm bringing him back plus an F. All you need to show his car." I think a little more than that can kind of work. His brother's on board, his family's on board. Seemingly, this was important to them and their family. Go for it, man. Go for it. I feel like that's one of those times where the ethics can kind of go out the window a little bit, because I think it's fine in this case, because it's finishing something they started. No. You think they might cancel the Flash movie? No. They're going to leave Ezra in this movie and cast him in the rest of the movie. Oh no. They're going to keep Ezra. They've already finished shooting the movie, so they're not going to go back and reshoot it when it's going to release in just a few months. They're going to release the movie. It's going to be fine. I think Ezra's role as the Flash is in question after this. But this movie is going to come out as it is, and they're not going to go back and retool it. I highly doubt that they would do that. It would be ridiculous for them to do it. I think we might see Superior Spider-Man as Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That would be cool. That would be fun. What's up, Chance? In my opinion, I wish Tommy kept the sword from when he was evil, the sword of darkness. I mean, it's a cool sword, but it literally corrupts. So I don't know if that. I mean, it wouldn't really work for what they've been doing with them. I think the Cushing-Cortez family is a representation of Smallville and how broken and messed up the whole town, thriving or striving for a better, more out of life. That's a good way to look at it. They are Smallville. That's a good way to look at it. I like that. Daddy wants the medal now. Frost has a pet toad. Yeah. Have I watched All American? Because I think it's a show I could really like. I have not. I've just got no interest in it whatsoever. I'm not a sports guy. I don't like just drama. Um, I don't know. I've seen trailers, like, obviously because they play between the shows that we watch. Doesn't interest me. None of the other CW shows interest me whatsoever. Not Riverdale. I was gonna say Archiedale. Not Riverdale, not Kung Fu. I mean, Kung Fu probably more so than the other ones. Not Walker. You know, definitely not an All-American. Again, not a sports guy. I need a different hook than that. And I'm not into pure drama, and it seems very soapy. So I'm not there. I need a hook for that. I know the Arrowverse shows can be pretty soapy as well, but it's got that superhero angle, and that's what has me in. I'm really just on the CW for the DC stuff. You beat me. It was 1 p.m. Thank you for welcoming Attitude. You deserve your success. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. But happiness is what matters, right? Prius, I'm from France. Okay, USA. U.S. Bloodsport reference. I need to watch all of Bloodsport, but good call. But shout out to France. One day I hope to visit. I really want to be a little more world travel, man. I really do. But thanks for tuning in, and thank you for the encouragement. I really do appreciate that so much. And I love that we can kind of bring together people from all over the world and just kind of chat and have fun and share our joy of some of these things. And I try not to, worry too much about anything going on. That's why happiness matters, right? That's why I spend most of my time just spending time with the things I love, and that's what this channel is all about. My favorite reaction channels, other than my own, of course. Nah. It's definitely Blind Wave, Real Rejects. Greg and John have been huge supporters of this channel. I love those guys so much. Love watching their reactions. Them, Blind Wave, Normies. A Goodwin TV, which a lot of people don't really know about. I love his channel. He's a little more anime niche. So, but if you like Avatar: The Last Airbender reactions, definitely check his channel out. I've been watching a lot of Angelina. She's hilarious. Natalie Gold, Akasan, the whole gang, man. Busy Braun, Matthew Haynes. Yeah, man. It's hard to pick especially when I'm friends with a lot of them. I don't want to leave anybody out. What's up, party people? Chester Pete. Also, Jordan doesn't need all these problems. If Sarah finds out, especially if he decides to be a hero, would be not a great idea. Exactly. Idea for another Uncharted game. Make it 50 years in the future and you play as someone new, looking for where Nathan Drake is buried. While you play the game, you flash back to Nathan and see what he went on another. That could be interesting. I don't know. It's already pretty contemporary, so jumping ahead 50 years, it worries. It borders. I would be worried about it borderline kind of like getting a little too future-y, a little too contemporary, maybe even beyond contemporary. But it's an interesting premise. That'd be an interesting premise. Lana deserves way better in this show. She's done nothing wrong. She hasn't given her daughter the best advice, and she's not been acting the best regarding Sarah's concerns over her father, but I completely understand Lana's perspective at this point. So I definitely feel like Lana is like kind of lost in the wind to all of this and just kind of reacting to everything happening around her. And yeah, she doesn't deserve everything that's been going on. But I think she's like one of the better characters in the show for sure. Soap. Allegra is the best character in the show ever. I really hope that was sarcasm. Come to the Dominican Republic. Hey, if I could one day, sure, hell yeah. By the way, I really enjoyed the Wheel of Time with Rosamund Pike. She kills it in that role. It has some interesting potential for future seasons. Have I heard about it? Oh yeah, I saw the trailer. I didn't react to it on the channel though. I saw the trailer on my own time, and I know a lot of people in the reaction sphere was reacting to it, but that trailer did not sell me on the show at all. It's a series I've heard a lot about. A coworker of mine back in the day used to really love this series, but I just never really explored it all too much, and the trailer didn't do a good job selling me on it. I've heard some good things about it, but with how busy my schedule gets at this point with all the shows I am covering currently, I just haven't got around to checking it out. And maybe I will on that suggestion at some point. But right now, it's just kind of a TBA. Keep an eye out. I don't like to say no to any series that I won't check it out. But but I don't want anybody to get their hopes up that I'm going to be like jumping onto something like right around the corner or anything of the source. But I appreciate it. I definitely am curious about it because I have heard a lot of good things about it. Much love from Turkey. Stay safe. Shout out back to Turkey for you, man. And you as well. Have you seen the TV show Person of Interest starring Michael Emerson from Lost? Person of Interest is one of my favorite TV shows. Highly recommend it. I've never heard of it. Never heard of it at all. I don't even know who that. I don't recognize that name either. I've not seen Lost. Of all things, I have not seen Lost. So, I need to. It's another train I need to jump on at some point or another. Jordan needs a girlfriend that doesn't just break up with just because he tried to protect you. He forgave her for all the things she did and loved their relationship in season 1. I did love their relationship in season 1. But I understand both of their perspectives right now. And I don't really fault Sarah for breaking up with him. She doesn't know he's trying to protect her. She doesn't know anything about what's going on. This isn't like a Amber situation in Invincible. Completely different. Sarah has no knowledge of what's going on. All she sees is a boyfriend that's just not there for her. So I completely get that. But at the same time, Jordan needs to focus on his priorities right now, which is his family and getting his powers in check. And potentially having to step out into the day, into the sunlight as a hero in light of his father being absent, if that needs to be the case. We need a reaction con or a giant collab with everybody. Yeah, it's been a little while since we've had one. We haven't, our little network is kind of falling apart a little bit. You know, we had those big trivia get-togethers where a bunch of us reactors would just kind of hang out and do some like DC Marvel trivia and stuff. We did 2 or 3 of those, and we did a reactor con thing where we all kind of supported each other throughout that, did a couple of live streams together. But aside from that, it's been pretty peaceful. The last collab I did, it was me, Busy, and Matthew Haynes. We kind of did a little live stream together talking about this latest season of Cobra Kai. Before that, I was on Akasan's channel with him and shit. Oh, I can't ever remember his name right now. Big Flash Kid. They're and talking about the Flash season 7. Aside from that, it's been pretty quiet on our end for the most part. What's up, Chance? How was your day? It's been okay. It's been not too. I mean, I started off a little rocky. I woke up 30 minutes before the stream actually started. I wasn't sure if I was actually going to start the stream or not, but I got out of bed. Wasn't feeling too hot, but I'm feeling a little bit better now that I kind of got the ball rolling a little bit. But how's your day? Hope you're doing good. Did I see a Ken Reacts Avatar reactions yet? Not yet. I have not had a chance to dive through all that stuff. Been a little too wrapped up in my own stuff at the moment. Would I get a tattoo based on anything I watch? I've considered it. I'm so indecisive, and my mind and mood and all kinds of stuff changes on a whim. So I'm always very hesitant to ever put something permanently on my body, or that would cost a lot of money to scar myself to remove it. I've considered a few things. A couple Kingdom Hearts things have mostly come to mind. Star Wars. As far as shows, it would probably lean more towards Arrow and X-Files, but yeah, man. Maybe one day. if I can commit to something. The funniest reactors I know are AG and Akasan. Dude, AG's another one I forgot to mention, because I spend most of my time when I'm not reacting stuff, and if I ever have downtime, is seeing how other people are reacting to some of the similar stuff that I'm watching. And AG is definitely up there, man. AG's hilarious. That was, in fact, sarcasm. Awesome. Good. Have I seen Father Stew? I hope that Allegra comment was a joke. If not, we riot. I have not seen Father Stew. I don't even think it was playing here, to be honest. What's up, Daya? Late, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. I had a little bit of a rough start to the day, but we're picking up. I'm picking up my my mood, my feelings, and all that jazz so far. Hope you're doing well as well. Thanks for topping in, and don't worry about being late. Doesn't matter at all. Take your time. There's no rush. This is not an obligation by any stretch of the imagination for anybody to show up. It's just a little bit of fun we can have. But I'm glad you're here, Daya. Can I rap? No. I mean, I can bust out some Eminem, but I can't just straight up rap anything at all. Have I checked out Vikings? I have not. I've heard great things about the show, but it's another one of those that I've not had the time to pick up myself. I feel like that and Black Sails are two that I've really wanted to kind of check out at some point. LSYT, what's up? How are you? Who's my favorite character on The Flash? The Flash. Barry is my favorite character on The Flash. The title character, my guy. Like I said, from Lost is the person of interest guy, and he was also in Arrow Season 6, I think. All right, let's look this guy up, see if I recognize him by face. Michael Emerson. Oh, he was in X-Files. Quite a few times. Okay. I never remember this guy's name. I see him pop up a lot. Yeah, he's an old X-Files dude, too. He was in the Brady Bunch episode and a few other episodes, actually, as well. He's played a few separate characters on the show. But most notably, he was in the Sunshine Days episode where it was kind of Brady Bunch themed, as he had like this latent psychic ability that projected the Brady Bunch house into this home, and people started to go missing in the house anytime they would get kind of brought up into something. Okay, I know who you're talking about now. And yes, he was Caden James in Arrow. Lost is also a favorite show. Do you have a favorite show growing up before you started reactions? Oh yeah, I mean, my favorite show of all time is The X-Files. I mean, I just referenced it yet again. I keep referencing it throughout Stranger Things too, man. It's my favorite show of all time. Easy. That, Friends, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Breaking Bad. All kinds of stuff, dude. All kinds of stuff. The Cortez Cushings are Smallville, but I'm still trying to figure out who the Irons represent, or what. Like, are they the caution against idolization, modesty, humility? It's a good frame of mind. I don't think about these shows that deeply sometimes. Sometimes I'll have like an epiphany in the moment, but most of the times I'm just like surface level gliding through everything. But I think you might be sniffing up the right tree right there. What order would I give these shows from Disney Plus? WandaVision, Hawkeye, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Moon Knight, Loki. What if? I'll start. WandaVision number 1. I don't care about the rest. WandaVision's my number 1. Hawkeye's my number 2. Moon Knight's not finished, so I'm not going to include it. Loki's number 3. What If is number... I'll be honest, I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is number 4. What If is number 5. What If I was just kind of mildly meh about overall. But we'll have to wait for Moon Knight. Right now, Moon Knight is potentially right under WandaVision, or has the potential to pass WandaVision, should it come to a close strongly. Some of my favorite channels are Previewed. Forgot Previewed. Previewed is another one. Jay and Adam crack me up, dude. So good. Let's see. Do I like Allegra? I don't dislike Allegra. I just feel like she's like a character that doesn't really factor into anything most of the time. She's kind of a pointless character. She doesn't really help much with pretty much anything. Let's see. Favorite movie currently in theaters. Seen The Northman tomorrow night. Have a good feeling about it. I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. But let's see. What is currently playing? I'm just going to go based on what's currently playing in my theater, because that's all I'm going to be seeing. So, like, what's still out? Okay, I lied. Father Stew is playing here. I definitely have not checked it out. Dude, it's either Everything Everywhere All at Once or Sonic 2. I think it's Everything Everywhere All at Once. I love Sonic 2, but I can't put it above Everything Everywhere All at Once. I just can't in good conscience do that. What's with the eyebrows? Why are you giving me the raised eyebrow? Hun, what are you doing? Why? Hope you're doing well, bro. Thank you, Good Vibes. I hope you are as well. I'm from France too, and of course you're welcome here anytime. If you need something, please ask. Oh, now I understand Andy's insights about Saint Seiya. It's almost as popular as Dragon Ball Z here. Oh yeah, it definitely is not at that level here, I would imagine. But now Dragon Ball Z, that's something I've watched beginning to end. Though Super has started to lose me here in recent years, so losing some of that interest. But I'll definitely have to give it a look. Who are my favorite characters on The Flash? The Flash, Joe, Cisco, Eobard, Ronnie. It's pretty much all the ones that really matter right now to me. Watch Young Justice, and it's good so far. And I agree. I'm really liking it, and we're almost at the end. What's the weirdest movie-going experience I've ever had? I think this counts as weird. I'll give you 2 moments. Sorry about the yawn. I mean, I just woke up a little ago. Why am I having trouble with it? Anyway. So, when I went to see the Green Lantern film, it was a midnight showing, and the movie kicked off, and this will really only help for context if you've seen it. But in the beginning, there's a sequence where we get the flashback of when his father crashes the plane for the first time while he's paralleling, having these memories while in a crash of his own that is going on, that is kind of going through a loop. Well, once we got to that point in the movie, something was wrong with the copy of the film that theater had received. And it was playing that same 20 seconds on a complete loop for 15, 20 minutes before they were able to fix it. So for a while, it was there was a little bit of a novelty to it. You know, we were having a little fun. We were laughing about it. People in the theater it got to the point where the people in the theater were just chanting along with the dialogue on screen, because we didn't know what else to do while we waited for them to fix the projector. And it just kept on this loop, this 30-second repeating loop for like 15, 20 straight minutes. And after a little while, we were just on cue with it. The whole bit, like his father crashing, is like, don't you ever get scared, Dad? Let's just say it's my job not to be. Eject, eject, eject. You're below minimum altitude. Get out of there, whatever. We were all chanting along with that scene on repeat until it finally wore out, and we were just like wanting to blow our brains out because it wouldn't stop. It was fun for a little while, but it just kept on going. And then they had to restart it from the beginning because it wouldn't let them skip ahead for whatever reason. So they had to start the movie from the beginning again. So we had to watch the first 15, 20 minutes of the film again. And it got stuck at the exact same spot. And then they were able to finally get it to skip ahead to the next scene. But we missed like a good 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes between where it was getting stuck and where we actually got to see. So when I went to see the movie, we didn't actually get to see the whole movie. It was so strange. It was so bizarre. I got one other story, and they don't really do this at theaters anymore, but back in the day, like when you would go and you'd get to a theater early, they'd have these like pictures that would come up, some trivia about movies, recent movies and stuff. And there would be like they would show you a scene from a movie and give you like a little trivia question and be like, who's the actor we've removed from the screen? Who is this question we are talking about? Who's this actor? And they'd black out the actor. And it was around the time that Bourne Identity or Bourne Supremacy, one of the Bourne movies was coming out, the second Bourne movie, whichever one that was. So it was Matt Damon. Obviously, Team America was huge around that time. We were seeing 300, so this is around the time we're talking about here. But the person removed from the screen was Matt Damon. So once the film finally kicked off, we're watching 300, and we get to the point where Leonidas kicks the Persian dude into the pit. And he does "This is Sparta," and kicks him down the pit. Something happens with the projector, and something happened with the projector, and it started playing the pre-show items. So, and it happened to be just when the reveal of the Matt Damon face came about. So because it was pitch black in that pit, all you saw was Matt Damon's face illuminate out of the darkness as a bunch of Persians are following into Matt Damon's smiling ass smug face. It was hilarious. And that was the first time I had ever seen 300. And like a fair chunk of the theater, all at the same time, just started laughing. And then a bunch of people in the back did the whole Matt Damon thing from Team America. It was something for sure. Anyway, it was a lot of long rambling there. Whew, you're right about the Wheel of Time, and it's a problem when the trailers have this anticlimactic effect. Season 1 wasn't perfect, but the lore is pretty fascinating, and it has some pretty cool bits. Well, I'll have to give it a go one of these days. Hopefully I can find some time to check it out on my own. I do really appreciate the recommendation, though. And I meant ask, not ask. Sorry for the keyboard. Nah, I knew what you meant. I just thought it was funny to read it as it was. Do I have a Flash Funko Pop? I do. It's the current suit. I've got the current Flash suit Funko Pop. Which show is better, Young Justice or Superman Lois? Superman Lois. Superman Lois for sure. If you're not progressing, you're dying. Vix McMahon. That is very true. If The Boys keeps up this quality till the end, it may become one of my favorite shows. I can feel you there for sure. And Cool Baka, thank you for becoming a champion. I don't know if you're in here, but I got a notification that we got a new champion on the team, and that is Cool Baka. What's my favorite Marvel game and DC game? Favorite DC game is Arkham Asylum. My favorite Marvel game is Spider-Man, the PS4 game. For me, it's Moon Knight, as long as the last 2 episodes are solid. Loki, Arrow Season 9, WandaVision, What If, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't feel like Arrow is in this classification. Oh, that was a joke. You meant Hawkeye. I see what you did in there. Slow on the uptake. Sorry about that. Did I buy the Spider-Man No Way Home Blu-ray yet? Yes, I have it. It's actually right over there. What are some of my favorite fight scenes? The Daredevil hallway scene in Season 1. And then the very same hallway scene escaping the prison in Season 3. The final oneer in Arrow, Season 8, that they did. Ip Man versus the 10 dudes in Ip Man 1. The bus scene in Shang-Chi. I've got a lot of favorite fight scenes, but those are the first ones that come to mind for me. My issue with Everything Everywhere All at Once for me is that it peaked during the fanny pack scene. See, I don't agree with that. I definitely think it kept climbing after that. Yeah, I definitely don't sympathize with that, because I feel like it peaked way later than that, like in the third act. Like I felt the movie continued to climb for me. What's the worst DC movie I've ever seen? I don't know. Probably Suicide Squad. No, Catwoman. Catwoman. What am I thinking? Catwoman. Catwoman, easy. People were shitting on Morbius, rightfully so, but it still wasn't Green Lantern bad. I think Green Lantern gets a little bit of a bad rap. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people think. Now, it does the stupid CGI villain cloud thing at the end, and that's shit. The villain's not that great, but I still mildly enjoyed it. I think, I don't know, it might be a little bit of a lean, but I had more fun watching Green Lantern than I did Morbius. Though I wouldn't dare say one's better than the other, though. I think so. You already asked me this one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I've got the current Flash costume, whatchamacallit, Funko. Was that Green Lantern story from Park Place Theater? No. No, it was, where was it? Yeah, dude, I don't know. No, it definitely wasn't the Park Place Theater. I'll tell you that much. I don't like going there. I'll be honest, I don't like going to that one. But no, it definitely wasn't that. I think it might have been Frank, the Frank Theater. But anyway, that's a little too doxy. Let's I probably shouldn't even answer that question, but that doesn't really help too much. Do you know who was alive in the Phantom Zone? And I'm not talking about Superboy. I hope so. That was a very puzzling thing to introduce there out of nowhere, and there's got to be a reason for it. They've been consistent about everything else's appearance up to this point, and that definitely made me raise a huge eyebrow. Weirdest movie experience was a Wolverine movie. I got popcorn soda and was walking in my seat, and my shoes were untied for some reason. Trip spilled my popcorn and soda all over. Well, that's just unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. If you could redo a Disney ride with your own MCU twist, which would it be? I honestly, I don't think I'm qualified to answer this question because I've never been to Disney. So I've never really been on a Disney ride. So I don't know. If you could somehow just from what I know about it, maybe if you convert the Tower of Terror into like a multiverse trip, so like when you're dropping or rising through it, you're like going through different realities. That could be kind of interesting. One thing I don't understand is that Doctor Strange didn't have the stone in No Way Home because Steve sent them back to their time. Yeah, the stone should have been returned to when he gave it away, right? He should have the stone. No, he shouldn't. Thanos destroyed it. Duh. Thanos destroyed the stone. That's why he doesn't have it. The stone that they had was the one from 2012, which needed to be returned to 2012. The present day stone had to be destroyed. Sorry. Worked it out. Figured it out in my head. What video game do you want to see become a show or movie? For me, it's Dishonored. Most of the ones that I would have normally said have been done or attempted in one way or the other. You know, Resident Evil, Last of Us, Uncharted, Tomb Raider. Some I don't think would necessarily work as a movie or a show, unless it was an animated show. I would like to see like an animated Kingdom Hearts series. I think that would be really fun. But like maybe, and we just got an announcement for a BioShock thing coming out. But I'd say probably, I had it just on the tip of my tongue and I lost it. Devil May Cry? But that could be done really bad or really, really interestingly. Might work more of as a show, but Devil May Cry is another series I really love. But yeah, I don't think any of the ones I would want have been done justice in a way. Yeah, those are the only ones that come into mind at the moment. Obviously, we got Halo now, so like a lot of the ones I would have picked have been attempted at this point, or are going to be attempted. If I could create a Six Flags DC movie, ACU Arrowverse ride, what would it be? Superman flight thing, like from Man of Steel. But that was, I think they already have that. Like where you lay down and you do the Superman flying around kind of vibe. I've ridden that one. Otherwise, like maybe like a water ride through Atlantis would be fun. Since MCU Moon Knight is just Jeff Lemire's run, but done backwards, I suspect Mark's been in the duat and reliving memories until the moment where Anubis' judgment. I wouldn't know. I don't know the run. So you could be right, but I couldn't say. How would a Dishonored TV show or game work? I don't know. I've never played Dishonored, so I'm not too sure I can speak to that. What anime is my favorite? It used to be Dragon Ball Z for a really long time, but it has subsequently turned into Naruto. Naruto is my favorite anime of all time at this point. It hits all the tropes that I really adore in any media, and it's action-packed. The characters are great. It does kind of meander here and there. Obviously, it's known for its filler, but if you just read it or skip the filler, it's great. I love it. I think my top 5 is Naruto. I still have Dragon Ball Z in my top 5. Inuyasha, Rurouni Kenshin, and Full Metal Alchemist, and I think that's. I think I'm out of top 5 now. Then Death Note probably. Was the most underrated season of The Flash, in my opinion. 4. I think so many people give 4 a hard time, and I really like 4. What do you think about Garner's Elektra? It's fine. I haven't actually seen the movie itself, but as far as her performance in the Daredevil movie, it was fine. It was fine. What's up, Donick? If it's best fights, I gotta see the Raid films. I have not seen the Raid films. Drunken Master is a really good one. Have not seen Meals on Wheels. Drunken Master I've seen. That's a really good one. Anything Jackie Chan also. Great fights. Just noted a few days ago that the Avatar movie got removed from Netflix, even they knew how bad it is. Well, I mean, their license probably expired for it. Who do you think wins in a fight, Moon Knight or Batman? I want to say Batman, but I'm not. I mean, I'll stick to the default. I think Batman would lose the first fight, but find a way to win the second fight if they ever fought again. How would you feel about a Denis Villeneuve directed Green Lantern movie? I mean, Dune and Green Lantern have very similar themes, in my opinion, with the foretold Messiah bringing in the end. Yeah, I think he could do a really good job with Green Lantern, to be honest. I think he'd fit that tone pretty well. One video game I would want is The Flash. Hal becoming Parallax and Paul being whatever he's going to be in part 2. The Ip Man movies are pretty intensive. Donnie Yen is amazing in the role. My favorite movie is the 4th one because of all the emotional stakes, and the Master Z spinoff was very cool. I've only seen the first one so far. However, I have seen out of context the fight between him and Tyson. But I haven't actually seen 2, 3, or 4 yet, all the way through. Some amazing fights are, especially if you like sword fights, are in these Rurouni Kenshin live action movies that we were talking about earlier. They are phenomenal. If you watch Corridor Crew, they've broken down some of the scenes before and some of their stunt breakdowns, and it's just ridiculous the amount of effort and choreography that goes into them. They're really some of the best sword fight scenes I've seen in anything. Would you want a gold-faced video game? Hell fucking no. I don't like Kingdom Hearts, but just because the characters of Kingdom Hearts Disney Plus series would be fucking massive, if it's handled well. Dude, Kingdom Hearts is my favorite video game series of all time. So, be careful. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, there would be so many characters if they did a series. It would be insane. Because the cast just kind of keeps getting bigger and bigger. And it's just so dense with lore at this point. If Insomniac were to pick up another Marvel character for a solo game, Daredevil should be the answer. I would fucking love a Daredevil game in the vein of Spider-Man 4, PS4. Hell yes. I agree with you there. I wonder if Ares is in Thor Love and Thunder and was cropped out of the teaser, or maybe a Loki variant. Or maybe it was Beta Ray Bill. That's where that was my first thought. I was like, is it Beta Ray? That would be so cool if it would be. Well, you may have already left at this point, Chance, but thanks for stopping in, man. It's been great talking with you all. Take it easy. Which Naruto Shippuden arc is my favorite? Mine is the one where Pain invades Konoha. Yeah, I think that's my favorite too. The whole final war arc, I think, was better to read than to watch because there was a lot of like cutaways that happened in an annoying way. But yeah, I think the Pain invasion arc is just top shelf greatness. Who would be in Batman Sinister Six if he had one? Joker, Riddler, Poison Ivy, Freeze, Bane. Is that already 6? I think that's already 6. Yeah. That's who I'd go with. That'd be my 6. One video that made me laugh so hard when I got a PS5 got announced. He clowned them PS5 so bad. Huh? What? I don't know what you're talking about. What did you think of Michael Keaton's Batman? I think he's fine. He was the first live-action Batman I ever saw. He's definitely far from my favorite. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. I like Michael Keaton. I like what it did and how it revitalized the Batman ether. But definitely not one of my favorite Batman. Well, I mean, I guess by default, there's not very many to choose from, but it's more like mid-tier for me. I've said it before, my favorite anime is Gintama. Something about the idiotic humor and the heartbreaking story works for me. Never watched it. Demon Slayer is a fun, interesting anime. It's a newer one. It's up there with Naruto for me. Naruto is #1 anime for me. I'm not seeing the only new anime that I've watched in a really long time, and it's not even new at this point, has been Attack on Titan. That and I think Mob Psycho 100, I would say, are the 2 newest anime that I've actually had the time to check out. I'm not current with what a lot of people watch these days, so not for lack of trying, it's just a lack of time. Dishonored is great. You should play it. It's basically a first-person Assassin's Creed. You get framed for killing your queen, but you can play the whole game without killing a soul or murder everyone. Yeah, I remember seeing the trailers for it when it came out and seeing the E3 discussions about the game, and it sounded really interesting. I just never checked it out when it actually came out. Do you have a few DBZ films from the 90s or early 2000s? Yeah, I've seen all of them. I don't think I have any of them anymore. I used to have all of them on VHS, but I don't have any of them anymore. They got lost in all the moves and stuff. But I've seen every Dragon Ball film that exists. I think if they somehow did a branch system where you give it a case and then you detective work and then trial, that could be great. Kind of like Daredevil meets LA Noire a little bit. That'd be interesting. Which movie is better, Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Ant-Man and the Wasp? Ant-Man and the Wasp. Have I thought about reviewing any other shows like RWBY? Well, Rooster Teeth can be a little bit of a butthole. I've seen the first season of RWBY, but I haven't seen anything after that. After Monty Ohm passed, my interest in the series definitely waned because I was a huge fan of him in his YouTube days. And when he started working at Rooster Teeth and doing the combat animations and the mocap for the fight scenes and the Red versus Blue seasons, and then they gave him his own show. I was definitely on board and excited for it, but I definitely when I heard that he passed in that operation, like it definitely kind of turned me off from continuing on, knowing somebody else is kind of driving it forward, because none of the action, even in Red versus Blue, feels anywhere close to as polished and as refined and interesting as what Monty was able to animate and create. His Dead Fantasy videos on YouTube and his Metroid Halo or Haloid video that was huge on YouTube. Those were my lifeblood for a long time. And I was always itching and waiting for the next one. And then he got hired by Rooster Teeth and did some really great stuff. But I have not watched or continued RWBY in a long time. I actually saw a Kingdom Hearts fan script on Reddit, and it was 160 pages. So yeah, it would take a lot for a KHS movie or series. It would be a massive commitment. They have it in manga form, and it's taking them forever to get through certain things. Another game I wanted somebody to make is an Iron Man game. That could be cool. Am I wrong for not liking Jordan? Like, not even a bit like everyone else. Prefer Jonathan way more. Who's my favorite out of the two? I mean, if I had to pick a favorite, it's probably Jonathan. Jonathan is just good boy. He had some stumbles, but he's still a great kid at heart. Jonathan is my favorite of the two. However, I relate way more with Jordan. Jordan, unfortunately, resonates with me on so many levels. I love them both. I think Jordan's a great character. I think Jonathan's a great character. It's just Jonathan is just such... He's everything. He's pretty much the perfect representation of everything Clark's tried to instill on his kids. Love it. In Superman and Lois, Sam Lane devoted all of his attention to DOD after Miss Lane abandoned them. You can see how that scared Lois, or scarred Lois. I wonder if some of this is going to be echoed in Lana and Sarah with the mayorship. Ooh. Well, Lana already seems to be pushing Sarah a little bit away in these last 2 episodes, which is why Sarah's kind of leaning on spending more time with her father. Obviously, because she cares and loves him. And it's a different situation being the daughter than being the person that got cheated on or whatever. So like it's a little more understandable, but I'm wondering if we might see Sarah start to stay with her dad. That would be an interesting thing to do. Akasan. Yeah, I'm still not sure. You were talking about Akasan. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know the video or the context of what you were talking about. So about the PS5 thing. Sorry, I don't know what that's in reference to. Scarecrow over Ivy for Batman Sinister 6. I was thinking that, but Ivy might be a little too OP. I don't know. Can I see the current Flash Funko Pop that I have? Sure, it's right here. Ba-ba. Right beside my Oliver one. How am I enjoying Stranger Things so far? I'm loving it. I am absolutely taken with it. Sometimes I can enjoy a series and it doesn't really get me all pumped, hyped, excited, energized. But something about this show just has me irreverently ear to ear and gripping my chair throughout the whole thing. It's a lot of fun. What about top 5 Batman movies? Now, Batman solo movies or movies that have Batman in them? Let me know. Top Batman villains I can think of are Joker, Bane, Two-Face, Poison Ivy, Penguin, Riddler, and that's all I can think of off the top of my head. Fair enough. Do I believe in reincarnation? I don't not believe. Let's just say I want to believe. Me being another X-Files nerd. I don't discount anything, really. Reverse Flash versus Joker. Reverse Flash. Can't believe Doctor Strange 2 is in 2 weeks. Me either. It's so soon. Have I watched Jujutsu Kaisen and also Berserk? I've not seen Berserk, and I have not watched Jujutsu Kaisen. Coming back to what I said earlier about recent anime, Jujutsu is pretty recent, and like I said, the most recent newish anime that I've seen is Attack on Titan and Mob Psycho. Correction, I have started Yashahime, but I got kind of bored with it after a little while because of how they were dragging things out. So I've kind of put that on pause for a little while. Gintama is actually around the mid 2000s and is similar with a lot of old school shonen anime. Took me a while to finish. The anime had some weird production issues because of a gorilla. What? Jordan, is my boy powers or not? I feel you there for sure. Who wins, Iron Man or Homelander? Probably Homelander. Who would I consider watching Lord of the Rings Trilogy Extended Edition for a reaction? I read that wrong. Who? Shit, why do I keep saying who? Would I consider watching the Lord of the Rings Trilogy Extended Edition for a reaction before Lord of the Rings Power series comes out? I mean, the problem I have with that is I've seen them. I've seen them all the way through. So I don't know that the reaction would be anything anybody would want to see because I know what's coming. It would be more of a commentary than anything, and I'm not versed enough in the behind the scenes stuff or anything outside of the movies, I think, to like make that interesting for people to watch. So I don't know. I feel like that'd be a lot of time, a lot of editing for something I don't know if a lot of people would want to see. I know, right? Reverse is way too OP. The Joker literally has no powers. They literally phase his hands through the Joker's chest and kill him. Yep. I think we're going to see Sarah with Kyle because he needs someone to take care of him, keep him out of trouble, which isn't healthy. He needs a voice of reason. Lana will get the ghost girl. Lana will get the ghost girl. Are you going to watch Stranger Things Season 4 when it drops? Of course. That's the whole point of what we've been doing this last few weeks. Got to get caught up in time for Season 4. Love that Flash Funko Pop doesn't have Goldface. My God. Why is everybody's obsession with Goldface, man? Batman the Animated Series or 90s Spider-Man the Animated Series? Oh, Batman, easy. I grew up on both. I love both, but Batman the Animated Series is just... it's fucking gold, man. The trifecta of the time, though, was Spidey the Animated Series, Batman the Animated Series, and X-Men the Animated Series, which has me excited to see what Disney Plus is going to do with X-Men 97 when that comes out. Batman's solo movies. So, solo movies, top 5. The Batman, The Dark Knight, Batman Begins. I mean, there hasn't been many. The Batman 89, Batman Returns, Dark Knight Rises, Batman and Robin, Batman Forever. I might be missing one somewhere in there, but lo and behold, that's the gist of it. About martial arts movies, we clearly agree about the kitchen ones. I wanted to mention Tony Jaa. He's a real-life superhero movies, and Ong Bak. Ong Bak and The Protector are really good, too. Tony Jaa is underrated. You know, he's one of those martial artists that hasn't really broke out in the West like some of the other ones have. Like, he's been in some things here recently. Last one I can recall was one of the more recent Fast films. He just hasn't got the attention that I think he needs or deserves. And I don't know what it is about it, but he's fantastic. You will be gripping your bones watching him fight people, man. Stranger Things Season 3 is fucking fire. I can bet Stranger Things gets darker, though. I haven't finished Season 3 and haven't watched the trailer either. Try to avoid spoilers. The only thing I've heard about Season 4 is from the Duffer Brothers talking about how the kids are not kids anymore and that the show's going to be a lot darker, is all I remember. That's all I know. That's all I've heard about where it's going to go from here. think Jordan represents his father's physical capabilities, but Jonathan represents his heart and will, the soft skills. Also think Jordan represents his mom's volatility and John her fierceness. You ever think about doing videos? Because you have the smarts that I just don't have for some of this. Everybody praises MBB acting on Millie Bobby Brown. I was like, MBB acting on Stranger Things season 2, but however, nobody gave credit to Will. Like, for me, he was the best. Oh yeah, easily out of all the kids, Will was the front runner in season 2. I didn't think Millie Bobby did anything like groundbreaking in that season. She barely had much to do in the season. The gorilla is an in-joke from the anime because the author wrote a manga panel with himself as a gorilla that wanted to be a steamed cheese bun. What? What's up, Party Pico? Back in the chat. In Justice League Apocalypse War, was that Wally in the Teen Titans? Because we only saw him for 2 scenes. I don't know. I really don't know. I would assume so, but I'm not sure. How long is chat going to last? Not much longer because I am going to have to hop off for some dinner because like I said, I woke up and started the stream. I haven't eaten or anything yet. The only thing I've been putting into my body is my medicine and wine, which already isn't a good combo. A lot of times Superman is the strongest person on the planet. And I'd be honestly more terrified of Lois Lane because she can absolutely ruin a person. She's scarier with her skills and threats. They are definitely a power couple if they were to turn bad. Oh, I didn't mean gold face. I meant the gold boots. No, he does not have the gold boots. They have not released as far as I know, they haven't released a Funko that has the gold boots yet. What has been my favorite episode 4 from the Marvel Disney Plus shows? Dude, I can't even tell you the episode 4 from some of these shows. I think episode 4 in WandaVision was the flashback episode where we get this perspective from Monica and all them from the outside. Falcon the Winter Soldier, I can't remember it all. Loki, can't remember at all what that one was. It was the one before he gets sent to with all the other Lokis. So that was an okay episode. What If was the Doctor Strange episode, and so probably the What If episode, to be honest. Have I played any of the Lord of the Rings Middle Earth video games, like Shadows of Mordor series or older movie video games? I've played a lot of older movie video games, but I haven't played Shadows of Mordor or Shadows of War, either of those. But I have seen, or I have played the old movie licensed ones, like the PS2, Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King. I've played those quite a bit. What movie do you think is better, Son of Batman or Batman vs. Robin? Son of Batman. I like Son of Batman more than Batman vs. Robin, but both are really good. Do I have any Killer Frost pops? I do not. The only Arrowverse pops I have are Oliver, both with hood and without, and Barry. Most underrated actor or actress. Mine is Cillian Murphy. It's actually been him for years, hoping Oppenheimer gets him in the Oscar running. I wouldn't say Cillian Murphy's underrated per se. I think he's a pretty acknowledged actor. I'll tell you one I think a lot of people don't give a lot of credit to, Zac Efron. I think he gets a lot of shit still to this day because of the High School Musical stuff. And it's not like he was bad in those. Not bad for the time, at least. But he has where like it took Robert Pattinson some really artistic breakout independent films to get out of the stigma of being the Twilight guy, which he's still struggling to break that in the mainstay. But like with critics and most people who appreciate film, like he's broken out of that mold. Zac Efron, I think, is still trying to break out of that still, but he's phenomenal. He does some great work in a lot of films. Now he's had some breakout moments, performances, his inclusion in certain things, but I just don't think he gets a lot of attention. But yeah, Cillian Murphy, fantastic actor. So, fam, I hope the internet is more cooperative. It actually has been steady the whole time. Can't wait for you to catch up on Stranger Things Season 3. The actors that play the kids are now all over 18, I believe. Which is crazy, man. Season 3 was filmed back in 2018. Damn. Dude, time just flies, man. Is it possible for a lantern to have all of the rings? Yes. When they wear all of the rings, they become a white lantern. Kyle Rayner was the first to do this in the comics, to wear every lantern ring. They haven't been giving the kids a ton of work with the others than Will, as far as the emotionally driven scenes, and Elle not being as well versed with speaking probably plays a lot into her not having tons to work with. Bro, you slept late as fuck. Yes, I did. I didn't go to bed until 6 in the morning either, so that's probably part of it as well. What gets me excited about life? Literally all of this stuff, to be honest. Shit that's not real is what keeps me moving. Arrived after you talked about the Kenshin movie. You're 100% right. The choreographies are fast and unique. The emotional stakes are way up there. The last movies had several heart-wrenching bits. And I was a fan of the manga, the animated series, and the previous OVAs, so that it just helps as well. It's a beautiful tale from beginning to end. Kenshin Himura is one of my favorite characters in fiction. I have this little guy right here I got the other day. He doesn't make it into view on camera because he can't fit. Hello, camera. Jesus Christ, camera. Thank you. Yeah. And joining him, we of course have my boy Shishio. So good. Also back here, you probably can't see it, we got Yami Yugi with his dual disc Android 18, Goku Black Rose, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Ichigo, and Bankai, Omn1, fitting, from Digimon, and of course Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. What Walking Dead Funkos do I have? None! What ones am I looking forward to get in the future, if any? I don't have any, and there hasn't really been any that I've been like wanting to go out of my way to get. If I were to get any, it'd probably be Daryl or Rick, but that's about it. Negan possibly. Negan's my favorite character currently, but I don't know. I like The Walking Dead, but I don't love it that much to get like a bunch of stuff to decorate my shit with, to be honest. The season of The Flash is really good, and they have definitely leveled up. And oh my god, the boots look so good. Can't wait for future episodes. The reason why I like Jordan is because he has Clark's physical attributes in his heart and his mother's curiosity and smarts. He's a great amalgamation of all of them. Jennifer Garner appeared in Daredevil, the Ben Affleck movie. Yep. I mentioned that earlier. I mentioned that earlier, actually. What was my first online fandom? Mine was Ronin Warriors, Samurai Troopers back in the late 90s. Man, that was a good anime, man. I loved Ronin Warriors. I've been doing the hyper analyzing for favorite shows for a long time, but only for my faves. I think the first online fandom I really ever got into was Dragon Ball Z. Even a buddy of mine even started a Dragon Ball RP site where you'd make your own character and we would go through the stories of the world and stuff like that. It's been fun, man. I think that was probably the first big fandom that I got involved in. Oh my god, Rob Pattinson in The Lighthouse was amazing. My parents are watching The Batman tonight. I've never seen it, but it's a date night with my girlfriend tonight. Gotta go watch GOG for the first time. Nice! Let me know what you think, man. But you need to get out there and see The Batman. Have I played Undertale? I have not. I wish you a bon appetit, my friend. I'm thankful for the time you share with us here. You more than deserve some delicious French speciality. Can hear your stomach from here. Appreciate that. Main in Smash Bros. It used to be Cloud, but now that Sora is in Smash, I need to master Sora. That's my goal from here on out. Rowan, what is up? Late, but here. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're having a good weekend. Having a relaxing evening. At this point, evening. We're about to close off for dinner here soon. I'm trying to catch up with the chat before I go. But what have you been into? Deathstorm looks comic accurate. Yes, it does. A lot of people have been like really confused about this Deathstorm. I think it's because we saw this earlier appearance going by the name Deathstorm on one of the other Earths when we were hopping around in earlier seasons. Which is fair. That one was a little more based on the Martin Stein Deathstorm, which came out in 2013, but the original first ever Deathstorm was the Black Lantern, and this is what we are seeing. So yeah. I kind of feel like Jonathan doesn't have any powers because it shows how much he gains from his mother, and I think it's Clark's human side. I think it shows Clark's human side. Now, I feel you there for sure. I do kind of like it as well, but I just feel bad that he's kind of left in the dust with Jordan. I get it, but I just feel bad. Everyone got serious potential. Don't feel like he works enough. You gotta watch. I'm definitely gonna go watch Firestarter. I like that book. I like the original film, so I definitely want to check it out. I'm also a big pyro dude. I like pyromancy and stuff like that. So seeing a pyrokinetics at the center of this film, hell yeah, with Zac Efron, bring it. Definitely want to check it out. What was it? The Ted Bundy film he was in. He was also really good in that, even though the film itself wasn't good. I think it had a huge mixed message in it that I just did not like at all. But he does good work when he's given the opportunity. What's the difference between living and existing? Living, I think, is experiencing the world out there and taking in all you can, experiencing things that exist and are tangible and able to be touched. Existing is just kind of meandering through life, just day to day living to live. I don't know. That's my low bar attempt at explaining that. It's Master Splinter. Yami Yugi, have you played Monster Duel or Master Duel? I have it downloaded, but I haven't actually played it yet. Can't wait for Superman and Lois episode 10. Unless we're waiting on episode 12, I thought, or 11, one of the two. Here, I'm not sure where you're at, but I'm pretty sure we're on, oh no, you're right, it is 10. For some reason, I thought it was 11. Never mind, you're right. What DC movies or TV shows should I watch? Arrow. I think Arrow is consistently pretty strong out of all the shows. Probably the strongest season to season out of any of the other Arrowverse shows, but I'd say Arrow. Smallville's good. Doom Patrol is phenomenal. Swamp Thing is phenomenal, though it's one season. Constantine is really good. Peacemaker is great. Young Justice, it's not a DCEU show, but I definitely recommend it. Lots of good ones, man. Lots of good ones. What TV show would you have more mature show? What TV show do you want to have a more mature show? Obi-Wan or Arkham? It gets made by Matt Reeves. Oh, Arkham easy. Obi-Wan, I don't think it needs to be all that more mature, but Arkham definitely should have a little bit of a mature edge to it. What's my thoughts on Chester? I like him as our pseudo Cisco since, obviously Carlos Valdez felt it was time to move away from the show. I think he's a good analog. I think he's a very distinct character. I think he's kind of stepped into his own to make him more than just a copy of Cisco. I like him a lot. I like him a lot. Did ever watch Halloween Season of the Witch? Watched it last fall for the first time. I thought it was original and creepy as hell. One of the best movie scores, in my opinion. I actually have not watched Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I have watched every Michael Myers Halloween film a ridiculous number of times, but I've actually never seen the black sheep of the bunch, Season of the Witch. I need to do that one of these days. I might do that as a reaction this year. Or the new episode of Superman and Lois, we're going to be focusing more on the Bizarro world and not on Earth Prime. I mean, as far as I've seen from the previews, it looks like we're spending the entire episode in the Bizarro world. Who's my main in Mario Kart? Yoshi. Favorite food? Pizza. Pepperoni pizza. Am I going to play God of War Ragnarok when it comes out? Hell is a yes, for sure. What's my favorite ice cream? I like vanilla and chocolate mixed. I like a good healthy mix. Or cookies and cream. What do I think of Moon Knight? I think it's trippy, wild, and Oscar Isaac is getting a great performance. I think episode 3 was the rockiest episode in the season. I still think so, but I'm really loving it. Oscar Isaac is doing a great job. I like the psychological, mental health aspect of it that they're diving into, the supernatural elements of it with the Egyptian lore. I'm digging it. I'm digging it right now, especially with the way the last episode ended. And I can't wait to see. I hope they close it off strong. The Forces versus Thanos. Probably Thanos, to be honest. They're kind of punks in the grand scheme of things. Though Dion does pose quite a bit of a threat with his time abilities, but Thanos can do that with the Time Stone too. So it is what it is. Doing well. Just noticed you were live, so I thought I would pop in and say hi. Well, thank you. I'm glad you were able to pop in, and I'm glad you're having a good weekend. I started off today just kind of feeling too poopy. I was debating on whether or not I wanted to postpone the stream or move it to tomorrow or just just not stream at all this weekend. I just woke up not feeling great. But guilt got the better of me, and I made myself get out of bed and got my drinks and everything set up and sat down. But thankfully, through talking to everybody, I was able to kind of perk myself up a little bit and get engaged. I'm feeling a little bit better now, which is good. At this point, I'm just more hungry than anything, so I'm waiting on dinner at this point. But yeah, I'm having a good day now, I would say. And some recommendations for you. Definitely, if you guys get a chance, you and your fiance, check out Everything Everywhere All at Once, or I think you'll love it. It's a little existential, but it's beautiful, hilarious, wild, and touching. And then what else did I watch? Everything. What was it? The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Fun, turn your brain off movie with Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal. Check it out. Northman, I don't know if it'd be up your alley, but it was a wild movie. Oh my God, your Kenshin Himura statue is so cool. And Shishio also. P.S. Superman and Lois is such an underrated series, and I think it just doesn't get the attention it deserves because people just have that stigma of it being a CW show, and it pisses me off. It's so annoying. It's so good, man. So good. And yeah, I pre-ordered these a while back. It almost took a full year for the Kenshin one to finally come in. I had the Shishio one for like months before the actual Kenshin one showed up. Where do you think Scream franchise goes from here? The requel was very clearly crafted. They can only go in so many directions moving forward. Sam, Billy Loomis's daughter, such a complex character. I don't know. I don't know what they could do next. I know they poked fun at elevated horror, but I was like, what do they do next? An elevated horror? I don't know. I don't know what they do from here. But I don't know. I'm curious to see where it goes. If we'll be continuing to follow Sam, or if we'll be picking up on that storyline. I know they're keeping Nev, or trying to keep Nev and Courtney involved, but I don't know. I didn't hate the last one. I thought it was okay. I thought it was better than Scream 3, but I don't know. I was very meh at the end of the last one, sadly. One Lego video game that I want is the Arrowverse. Now, that would be really cool. It'd be really cool if they could just incorporate that in one of the later DC ones that they've been doing. For Jonathan, I think the story is going to show how much strength it takes to be soft and compassionate while remaining strong and full of integrity. It's easier to be soft when you can't lose. That's a fair point. I need to catch up on Better Call Saul. I'm 3 episodes into season 4, and it's my least favorite so far. How much better does it get? I think season 5 picks up really strongly. It's the closest. You can see all the seeds as we're developing, getting closer into Breaking Bad, and it's pretty good. It's pretty darn good. And I'm like, the first 2 episodes so far that I've watched of season 6, I'm just on the edge of my seat throughout all of it. Season 4 is a little slow, I will say. Is Stranger Things one of my favorite shows? It's getting up there. I wouldn't put it in top 10 just yet, but I don't want to jump the gun because I'm not done yet, but it is pretty close. One thing I hate about Disney Star Wars, they make it feel unrealistic. Let me actually see how the lightsabers work. They're supposed to cut you in half, not make you fall over like it's the WWE. I'm not going to get into that conversation. What DC movie would you want to be rated R? Most of them at this point. Definitely the Arkham stuff should be. I think the Batman could be rated R. I wouldn't be opposed to it being rated R. I don't think it needs to be rated R, but it could. I would like to see a rated R version. Definitely any of their villain-focused films should be rated R, I think, to really kind of give it its edge. And Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad, anything that has a heavy focus on the villains, I think it should be rated R to let them do what they do. Like James Gunn, I'm glad he was able to get that R because the Suicide Squad was it was just a blast. I wish we were still getting the Rogue Squadron, but I think we are. I mean, it's still Rogue Squadron thing is it's back on the table, I think. But it's not about Wedge and his people at all. It's about a whole other group. It's because it's post Rise of Skywalker. So from everything they've been saying, the Rogue Squadron thing that they were going to make, at least, was going to be post Rise of Skywalker. But like in earlier days, Rogue Squadron would be really fun. What is my Thor movie? I think you meant favorite Thor. Yeah, there you go. Favorite Thor movie. Ragnarok. I like the first one fine. Dark World, I think it's just memed all to hell at this point. I don't think it's terrible. It's definitely one of my least favorite MCU films, but Ragnarok I just can watch on repeat. It's so fun. If I were cast in Marvel or DC, would I rather be a hero or a villain? I would much rather be a hero, I think. But everybody swears up and down I look like Paul Dano, so why not? I'll play the Riddler. What's my thoughts on Robert Pattinson's Batman? I thought he was fantastic. He's my favorite. He's my second favorite live action Batman right now. When Spider-Man 4 to get dark, like Tom Holland would be infected by Venom, since literally no one remembers him, and it'll be better than the Multiverse of Madness and Love and Thunder. That's hard to assume that it'll be better than the Multiverse of Madness and Love and Thunder when those aren't out yet, and we don't know the movie that would turn into. But I do hope they build up and build around to. I don't think they're going to go dark. I think they'll kind of float in the same kind of tone we've been at. Because No Way Home, I think, is the darkest it's gotten in a while. So I think I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think Spider-Man 4 is going to be a long way away. Does Barry have all the forces or just the Speed Force? Because I think it would be pretty OP if he had them all. He had a temporary boost from all of them all, which gave him his level up. I don't think he has access to all of the forces at any given point. I think he still just draws primarily from the Speed Force. Where do you think Moon Knight is going? I honestly have no idea. Personally, I'd want the powers of Invisible Woman, but gods above know I'd be morally gray character, and I'd be involved in so many shenanigans. I am right there with you. Which RoboCop movie, I'm assuming you meant RoboCop, did I see in theaters? I've seen none of them in theaters. The old ones,
I've seen in on VHS and on TV a lot, but it's been a long time. I haven't seen a RoboCop movie in probably since I was like 7 or 8. I've played Assassin's Creed Origins. The setting is Egypt, which when I watch Moon Knight, I always want to play Assassin's Creed Origins. I have not actually played that one. The only one I've actually played to the end is the first one. I just, with open world games, it's so hard for me to stay focused, and I just could not get through it, man. Any of the other ones, I always get distracted, or another game would come out and take my attention away. But I definitely feel that. I'm glad you're feeling better. What's for dinner? I think we're having chicken, mashed potatoes, and some corn today. I think I will try to remember that title. I'll send it to you. I want anybody who has the opportunity to go see that movie while it's out. I think it came out 2 weeks late here for us because it had like a limited release, and then it opened up a little bit, and then opened up again to more theaters because I thought I was going to have to drive 3 hours to go see this movie, and holy crap, it was so good. It's so good. It's something. And I'd love to know your thoughts on it if you go see it. Do I got a wife? If so, what is name? I do not have a wife. I do have a girlfriend, and her name is Sam. Ain't getting anything more than that, though. I think Superman and Lois might end up being a cult classic, like some underrated series tend to do. I hope so, man. I hope so. Is there an Aang Funko Pop? There are a few different Aang variation Funko Pops, but I don't have any of them. Sadly, the only Avatar one I have is my boy, Zuko, Season 3 Zuko. My handsome man. Titans or The Amazing Spider-Man 2? Spider-Man 2. Titan, Spider-Man 2. I enjoy better. I think this is one of your longer streams. I have accidentally gone on for 4 hours before, so we're not that far along yet, but we're getting there. It's not. This is a typical stream length. I try to cut off around 2 hours, and we're about to hit 3. I've seen some of the video essays about Superman and Lois, like from High Top Films and Implicitly Pretentious. I haven't. I mean, if you got any you want to see, send them. I'll check them out as long as they're good. I hope they're good. Good propaganda, not bad. My issue with Disney starters, for starters, the lightsaber dismemberment is only because Disney literally had Thanos get beheaded. That was also my one nitpick in Fallen Order when you fought the Stormtroopers. I feel you there. I definitely feel you there. It definitely felt weird and out of place in Fallen Order to not have that in there. West Allen versus Snow Ramon. Sorry, Raymond. Who do you think is better? I mean, yeah, I think you asked me this last weekend too. West Allen. They're definitely the pinnacle couple in The Flash. Like, they are the best couple in The Flash. Like, I will stand by that. Oh my god, not gonna lie, I noticed the resemblance of Paul Dano. I finally watched The Batman with my fiance the other day, and I enjoyed it. Awesome. I'm glad. I know it was one of those movies I wasn't too sure how it's gonna fly with one way, and now you're just like, yeah, thank you. Now you're on the whole Paul Dano trade. Yeah. He's not a bad looking dude. Well, I have a little more of a chin and jawline than he's got. I'll give myself that credit. But man, I think the only other film I'd actually seen Paul Dano in was the Swiss Army Man, and holy crap, that was a trippy ass movie. Same directors, because it's a pair, did the movie I'm recommending, Everything, All at Once. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Sorry. We'll have to talk about the Batman. I definitely want to hear your thoughts a little bit more in detail about that one, since I do need to wrap up. I think Thor: Love and Thunder is going to have more humor, like Ragnarok, not the serious tone of Thor 1 and 2. Oh, for sure. Have I seen the YouTube channel Thought E2? If not, I highly recommend it. I have not heard of it. I will take a note. I accidentally opened Epic Store. That is not what I wanted to do. Thought E2. And then I'll go back up here to Summers, talking about those essays. Now, I have watched High Top before, but not regularly. The other one I'm not familiar with. Just assuming since Spider-Man No Way Home went well, even though some people are saying it carried by nostalgia, I get that Marvel wants to keep that PG-13 rating. Oh, definitely. I mean, for some of their stuff, they have admitted they are going to go into our territory, like with Deadpool, and they're not afraid of it as much as they used to be. But for Spider-Man, you better guarantee it's going to stay PG. Spider-Man is their flagship character in the comics, and one of their biggest characters in the films. They want as many butts in those seats as they can get. What's up, Daniel? Late as always. We're about to wrap up. You show up just as we're about to wrap up. If you want a fun game to play, go play Assassin's Creed Origins. It's very straightforward, doesn't have too much fluff. In my opinion, it's the best RPG Assassin's Creed. If you can play Elden Ring, you can play Origins. It's not nearly as hard, and the story is actually very good. The Egyptian god references are interesting. For example, you get to fight Anubis. That is fair. I have been able to get through Elden Ring. I'm almost 100%ed Elden Ring at this point. But I had like a drive focused on that, so we'll get to it. Have I played Horizon Forbidden West yet? I haven't played the first one, so I have not played Forbidden West. But I think I got the first one on Steam when it was on sale. Where you at? Yeah, I did. I have to get around to playing it at some point. I've heard really good things about it. I've watched some other people play it, and I definitely want to get into it. West Allen versus Carmen and Johnny. Oh. From, I was like, who the fuck are you talking about? From Cobra Kai. I'd probably have to still stand with West Allen. Wait, I forgot. Weren't you going to go for dinner or something? I remember you saying you were going to take a break. Yeah, we're getting there. I'm just trying to catch up to the chat before I go. It's Zuzu. I was back when I showed the pop, I guess. Greetings from Berlin, Germany. Shout outs to Berlin. I have family in Frankfurt. I love your Batman shirt. Thank you. On a podcast last night talking to my friends, they were talking about Superman, how they should depower him again to make him more relatable. No, they already did that in Crisis 85. Yeah, nah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with depowering Superman at all. Funny thing, I have the same Lord of the Rings Fellowship Ring poster in my room. Love seeing that poster in the background. I know it's hard to see, but just so everybody knows what all's up here, it's Back to the Future 1, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring, Star Wars A New Hope, and Jurassic Park. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment, Daniel. There's no need to... I think Superman's more interesting when he's having to restrain himself. Yeah, Paul Dano does not have much of a chin or jawline. Also enjoyed Swiss Army Man. It has a very similar tone about it, though this one is a little less detrimental to one's mental health because Swiss Army Man was kind of like very melancholic, and this one is very uplifting, adventurous, emotional. It's just a great movie, man, but just as weird, maybe even more weird. I would dare say a lot more weird, but I really loved it. Does the Batman have a weakness? If so, what is it? Being a human. Yelling the name Martha. I'm just teasing. Please don't get triggered, anybody. I can't believe you mentioned Swiss Army Man. Love that movie. Have it on Blu-ray. I watched it last year for the first time, and that was the first thing I've actually seen Paul Dano in. I literally only watched it because, one, I wanted to see it. Daniel Radcliffe was in it, and Paul Dano was also in it. So I was like, I should watch something Paul Dano's in as a frame of reference before I go into the Batman and all that, because I want a frame of reference for his character or for his acting ability. I know some other things that he has been in, but I just haven't seen most of them. Post-crisis Superman with great difficulty can lift a blah, 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 blah. Well, you also got to consider post-crisis Superman also has limiters on his mind a lot of the time, too. But pre-crisis Superman is insane. I'd love to see another Gremlins movie. That could be fun. What movie is better, Sonic 1 or 2? I enjoyed 2 more because it dove more into the lore of the games. And there was a lot more of the games in Sonic 2. I got misty. I got hyped. I was excited. I actually clapped. I whooped and hollered a little bit. It's my 3rd time in the channel. Love being here chatting with you. I'm glad you keep coming back. I don't really play video games, but I love watching people play video games. All the way back from Crazy Taxi, but my favorite games to watch are the Mass Effect trilogy, BioShock Infinite, and Hades. BioShock, I've only played the first one, and I really, really love it. I haven't played Infinite or BioShock 2. I played a little bit. I made like 30 minutes of BioShock Infinite, but I also got distracted and dissipated from it. And I've played Mass Effect 1, but I pretty much just rushed through it. And I really enjoyed what I played of it, but I have not finished the trilogy. Cobra or The Flash? Cobra Kai, I think. The Flash, I mean, I've got so much of a sentimental attachment to The Flash. But it's just like, so far, Cobra Kai just keeps getting better and better and better every season. And The Flash just keeps getting not that great every season. Season 8 right now might be kind of on the up end, but I've yet to see much of it yet. So I don't want to get too excited too soon. I would probably put Cobra Kai over The Flash at this point. Have I seen Looper? I have not. I have not seen Looper. Bruce Willis movie with Paul Dano in it too. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I really do want to see it though. Goldface versus the Hotness. Honestly, after that last episode, I do have some respect to give to the Hotness, but I still enjoy seeing Goldface more, I would say. One thing the Batman missed was Catwoman saying Martha. Doctor Strange 2 post-credit scene, multiverse gets fixed, but one person falls through. It's Deadpool. He stands up and looks at camera. What the fuck, Disney? I think you or somebody said that exact same thing a few live chats ago. Another great video essay is Filmjoy. You should check out their essays on Mario and Zelda. Filmjoy. I appreciate the recommendations. And Summer, how about you do your own? I'd watch. I'd support. Guys, I caught up, I think, unless it hasn't updated yet. Okay, there's like one more. We're gonna wrap up. It is time to conclude our stream. Maybe if I'm feeling up to it, maybe I'll do a little game stream tonight or something. I don't know. I feel like I should do something, but I don't know. We'll see. I might just try to just focus on collecting myself a little bit. Paul Dano was the prisoner in a good, trippy, harder movie to watch than the Batman and Swiss Army Man, but he was acting alongside Hugh Jackman and had an interesting performance in that movie. Was in The Prisoner. Oh, okay. I was like, where's the title of this movie in this comment? I'll consider that one. All hail Bebo. All hail and Bebo indeed. 100%. Please do the game stream. We'll see. All right, guys. Real quick, because this just came in after I said anything. Do you think Rhino is coming in the next movie, or are we going to get to Sinister Six because of the cameos? I think Sony's still going to force a Sinister Six on us, regardless of what we want, or what's going on, or why it makes sense. So, probably. In No Way Home. No, I don't think not in the MCU continuity. I don't think we're going to get that Sinister Six in the MCU continuity at all. But over in whatever they decide to do with the Sony verse, probably we're going to get one over there because that's all they seem to be interested in anymore. But guys, we're going to call it here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you all so much for the love, the support, the conversations, the chats. Join the Discord if you're not already in there. And follow me on all my socials. I'd really appreciate it. I follow some fun little tidbits every now and then on each one of those that are exclusive. Just follow me. Anyway, guys, have a good rest of your weekend. And if I feel up to popping back on a little bit later, maybe I will. But take care, everybody. Have a good night, good evening, good morning.